Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Friday night post show. I'm Cassidy Haynes. You're here with Bodyslam.net's Friday night live coverage with our newest team members. Let me introduce you to everybody. We have Jaychele, Nicole, and Carisa Lopez. Hello, everybody. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. I've been really busy today. I've had a lot of stuff going on, so.
I'm great. It's been a hectic week, to say the least. Everything has happened in the past 3 or 4 days, and now I'm on a podcast, so I cannot complain.
That's welcome to the wrestling lifestyle. It's a little bit hectic. That's kind of how it goes. Everything happens all at once in a big wave. It can be dead for a while, and then it just gets really busy, and everything just kind of organically grows on the fly. So jumping in head first, I like it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right, guys. Well, so let's just talk. So you already mentioned hectic week, so let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the news week. We had a bunch of releases. Was it 18 releases this week?
Yeah.
Damn. Budget cuts, huh? You guys, what do you think of that? I'm just gonna say it. What do you think of that excuse? Because I think it's an excuse.
It obviously is. It happens after every quarterly call. You literally showed us how much money you're making in profits, and then say you have to make budget cuts, especially when you just got a new finance director who got $1 million sign-on bonus. So I don't believe any of that.
Yeah. What do you think, Carisa?
Honestly, it's an excuse, like you said. Ever since when it started to happen in April of 2020 during the pandemic, that's when that it wasn't budget cuts. That they just want to fire a bunch of wrestlers for no particular reason. But I think for this one, there were reasons, but I think they weren't the right reasons because there was so many talent that was released and people that have had experience, such as Taya Valkyrie, who I've been watching since her Impact days.
Oh my God.
And the fact that they wanted women under around 25 or under, which it baffles me because even though she's only 38, she has a lot of experience and can bring a lot to the table. They shouldn't have had her for NXT. They should have brought her up straight to the
main roster. Yeah.
Those dream matches could have happened, but.
And you should have just kept her with John Morrison. You do that with all of the other couples. I don't know why you couldn't just do that. And especially to fire her when her husband is in the UK.
Right. That was a little. Yeah, that's kind of cold. But they seem to be taking it well,
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been around. I mean, it's happened to him a couple times, I'm sure. So, but so we kind of touched on it. So the excuse, there was reported a little bit, like New York Post reported last night, and Andrew Zarian, friend of mine, a friend of yours too, I think, Carisa, Andrew, reported that some of those looks like they could have been contributed to people not being vaccinated. And we had 4 people that they're saying was one of the reports, but
yeah, I think Sean from Fightful said it was 4 people or so, but now we can't really confirm. I mean, I guess we could confirm it, but if you look at Nia, it's is that true? She's saying she wasn't even offered any options. How did this really happen? I guess it's the question. Is it something actually about them being vaccinated, or is it just another excuse that you're using to get rid of these people who you have no creative for?
Even though the number was pretty low that they said had it, that's come out now, I had heard that there was more than that from people that I was talking to last night when I was asking around about it. They told me they wouldn't be surprised if the number was closer to more 70 to 75%. But, I don't know who. I really don't. That's a subject that I don't really know. That's kind of personal. So that's kind of hard to find out who is and who isn't. But going by the numbers that they'd heard from, they're in there. So they know some stuff. So that's kind of what they had told me, that they wouldn't be surprised if that was more of a realistic number, that we're looking at who got cut yesterday, that about that many of them might not have been vaccinated. So that's why I think the report carries a little bit of weight to it, because I'd also heard some of the ones previous times that was mentioned, that was some contributing reason to some of the cuts, that there was some issues with that. So I mean, but it's weird. It's not mandated, but yet you're going to release people for not doing it, which is a very weird stance.
If you're going to give people the options, I think it makes sense, because obviously you're you have a global organization that's moving like country to country and state to
Mm-hmm.
state, and you're in a bunch of different venues and arenas, and you need to be vaccinated to go into most of these places. But you still also need to be able to find a way to make it work for people who aren't comfortable getting vaccinated as well. So
I think a problem with is, I mean, not to be that guy, but from a business standpoint, it's, if you're not vaccinated, say you get sick and you have it, what's that, 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks of quarantine. So you're looking at 4 weeks of just not being on TV. And if they invest money into you and time, have the storyline going, and they've put all this wheels into place, and then have to just like cut it right away, and then probably not even give you a reason for it, because that's something that they haven't let out when people have had it before and have missed time. Because I know people that have had it and like, oh, why did so and so leave TV? And you don't really get an explanation, and they show up a couple of weeks later. There's probably a good reason for that as well, and they just don't talk about it. So they don't really want to do that with a lot of their storylines. I get that, but I mean, if you need to be a little bit more transparent, I think, with everybody as far as like how this could affect their jobs if they do or don't get vaccinated, if that's apparently being so heavily a factor in these terminations. I don't know. It sucks. There's a lot of good people that lost work this week.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like a lot of them are going to land on their feet. Hopefully, I'm very excited to see what happens with Keith Lee and Mia Yim and Karrion Kross and Scarlett and wherever they end up, and all of the other talent. Obviously, like Ember Moon, AEW, I think needs to grab her. She would be an amazing asset. They need some like veterans to kind of like anchor them down. They have like a lot of like newer green women, so it's kind of harder to even book them even. So I would love to see Ember there.
Yeah, she's an addition to anyone's roster. I said that last night. Like, I think she'll probably be one of the first ones picked up, I would expect. I mean, she'll boost any women's division and any roster instantly is better with her on it. I mean, there's just no doubt with that. It's just who has a spot and who wants to, there's just so many people now that the timing was bad. Because of what happened with ROH. Now there's like one less place for these people to go work, really, too. And then the market just got really oversaturated. So a lot of people are going to eventually be okay, but it's probably not going to happen as fast now that it could have been with like the way things are going, as far as how many other people's jobs just got very uncertain too. It sucks.
And if you're Tony Khan, you have to look and think, okay, Johnny Gargano's contract is almost up. Kevin Steen's contract is almost up. Kevin Owens.
Sami Zayn.
And then, and Kyle O'Reilly is almost up too. So like,
his is up next month.
Right. You need to be very like cautious. Like, okay, how many people can I sign without getting the? Like, people on Twitter always say that they sign everybody, they overflood the roster, but that doesn't even really matter to me, because the way that it works is they rotate people out so that people aren't always on TV, and it works for them. But still, you need to be cautious of flooding that roster, because I mean, I guess Tony has the money, but
he has more
not
money.
Everybody has
like that's a fact. You know what I mean? Anybody that says that he can't afford it, if WWE can afford to do it, they can afford to do it if they want to. But I don't think he wants to do that. It doesn't make sense. There's no reason to stockpile people. You need to let people be able to work and make money if they want. But I mean, he does have, they talk about how there's not room for him, but they do a lot of programming. There's a lot of stuff they do with dark and dark elevation. And, I don't know. To me, I think there's plenty of places for people to work, and I think there's plenty of room. If he sees there's room, he knows better than we do, so who are we to say? It's his company. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of people that are going to get some look here soon. There's some 30 days and some of these 90s, but we'll see some people soon. But yeah, like I lost some friends. My friends lost their jobs last round. Like Anthony Henry. Like he was talking on Twitter about the bonus they give you when you move. They want you to move in, and that, like we were talking earlier before the show with, was it Katrina Cortez?
Yep.
That was talking about now the situation she's in now that she doesn't have a job. It sucks. And I think Alex Zane too, last time before he just moved to Orlando before they had, before he got released last time too. So like all these people come in and they just, they uproot their lives to come down there and live their dream, and then get the rug pulled out from under them just right after they get there. Which gets into that news from today too about the potential like trial period. Did you see? I think was it Alvarez maybe talking about that, or somebody on at the Observer I think was talking about that. Which, I mean, that's fair to do for so you don't have situations like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of good. I mean, that's maybe they're learning from the situation they put all these people in, how unfair it is by going that route. So I don't know. We'll see how that's received and if they actually do that. But I think that might not be a bad thing to do if you don't know what you're buying, which I don't understand anyway. Like, how do you sign somebody and then decide that, nah, that's not what I wanted? Did you not do your research and see?
BFAB,
right?
I mean, we'll get into it later, and I'm probably going to rant about it for a little while.
Let's get it right now. Go for it. Rant. Let's go. Let's do that. Let's just dive in.
So upset. Okay, how do you take her voice out of the entrance music? I was like, okay, what is happening? Like, I was still expecting to hear like "Hit Row," and I was like, how do you just cut it? And you just called her up to the main roster like 3 weeks ago, and if you didn't want her, you didn't have to call her up. If you didn't think she could wrestle or she wasn't ready, you could have just left her in the PC. I'm just like at a loss for words, and I don't even understand what they did with Sami Zayn this week. I don't know how Sami Zayn is connected to Hit Row. I don't know why that's happening, and it seems like they're going to
start. Is it because he's got the dance? Is that the reason? So you can dance and do that little shtick?
I think that's the reason. I'm not.
That's the only reason I had for that. That's the only thing that made sense to me. Is like, what? So Sami can dance and they can shut that down, and that. All right, whatever. I love Swerve too. He's a great guy. So
yeah, but it seems like they're about to push Top Dollar as the single star.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I'm not surprised because if you look at him, he looks like somebody Vince would love.
Mm-hmm.
But
big.
I mean, Swerve was the leader before.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's weird to see what the dynamic. I mean, you could tell that, but just by the way they positioned everybody, put the big guy in the middle and your little pieces on the side, which doesn't make sense because that's not how it was. He was the heater, down there, and now he's up here looking like I don't know. It's weird. We'll see how they do this. What they're gonna do. I don't know. I don't have much faith personally in WWE's booking, and I hate to see. Yeah, I was real worried when she got released this week and how it was going to affect this Hit Row. I don't know. I didn't like it as much today, honestly. Without her there.
This is a very random person to bring up, but Eva Marie also makes no sense to me. How they just brought her in for what she came in like June or something like that. She debuted back in June, and she got released now.
And they had signed her a year before that. So they had her like around for a good year before you even debut her.
Oh my God.
Again, re-debut her because they signed her like September or October, I think, of 2020. And she didn't show up until this summer, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not entirely sure because either it was Sean or Mike Johnson that had reported last year that Eva was, I believe, in Orlando when they were still doing the Thunderdome, and I think that was when she had signed her contract, but she hadn't debuted yet. I guess that they started to like add pitches to see what would fit best for her and what they were trying to do for her re-debut or her return to the company. But again, like it makes no sense to sign her last year and then release her now.
Yeah, it didn't make much sense. There's a lot of stuff that didn't make much sense with any of this. Like, you could use her. Like, all right, so she's not doing what you want her to do in the ring. How many times have you taken a good wrestler and made them want to be a man, like Adam Cole? Like, try to turn them into manager. Just put or even Marie as the mouthpiece for somebody. Let her, because she gets heat. People hate her, so just have her.
You know what you could have did? You could have put Eva Marie with Dakota Kai and made them a heel tag team. Not even a tag team. Just make Eva her manager.
Or they could have been a tag team because you don't even have those, and then just have since she's obviously not as to where you wanted her to be after all the training and effort you put into making her a wrestler, at least have somebody that can carry the group a little bit better. Because there's how many times have you seen that in tag teams throughout history where you put a stronger guy with a stronger talent with somebody else to carry the team until the person when they dissolve. You see said that all the time too, like, oh, this guy's so much better than this guy, and then the career's just one person goes one path and another. So there's tons of stuff they could have done with her other than just release her after I don't know and let nothing done it to me. Mia Yim. I mean, guys.
She didn't even get a shot. Like she didn't even wrestle when she was with Retribution. Her last match was like in NXT.
She wrestled with Retribution a little bit, and then they dissolved that, and then traded her to somewhere, and then she never wrestled. And then in the new draft again, she got they got rid of Reckoning, and she was Mia Yim again, and then so she I think got traded last time and never wrestled after she got traded, and then this time got drafted and then never wrestled again, and then got before she got released. Just doesn't make any sense.
I remember Sean saying she was drafted internally as a SmackDown superstar, and she was supposed to debut a bunch of times, and it just didn't end up happening. And they drafted her to Raw, and I was like, okay, maybe they're finally gonna put her on TV. They're trying to figure something out with her. Maybe it's finally gonna go somewhere. No, she just gets released. And with Keith and Karrion, they released them because they didn't like how they were booking them. You put Karrion Kross in that position to look like that and not be able to get over. You put Keith as a Bearcat. I don't.
Yeah, I don't get it. You knew what you had when you signed him, and it was great, and it was over. So why not just transition what was working to the main and see if it works there? Why do you I don't understand the thought process of a lot of what they do. And these are all prime examples of all of that. It's all just so, it's frustrating. It's frustrating from a fan's perspective, and especially people that aren't just casual fans. People that read news and or know these people. That's even worse. It's all frustrating.
I remember last night, Carisa and I were actually on a space, and it just started happening, and we just started getting all the notifications and just adding them to the Twitter space, and we were all just having a breakdown as a group. I think it was very stressful, and that was just from us being fans. I can't even imagine being one of the wrestlers and having that happen to you,
or not knowing if it's about to happen, just waiting for your phone to ring.
Right.
Yeah, I saw JTG making a joke yesterday on his Twitter. Did you see that about Jackson Riker having a job because he doesn't answer his phone?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of truth to that theory in some statements too about a lot of because I've heard that before, that that's been things with people. He has a job, he just doesn't answer his phone when they call. They can't fire him because he never answers his phone. So yeah, it sucks. But these people are going to land on their feet. I think a lot of people are going to be fine. But
yeah,
like you're talking about Katrina Cortez, that situation really sucks, and I hope something resolves there so she doesn't. That's kind of what happened with the Iconics or with the Inspiration.
and Bronson Reed as well, because he was supposed to debut for Impact, but
because they were all under they all had visas, and they were trying so hard once they got their release to not let it expire or to renew it in some sort of way. And now that Cassie and Jess are both on Impact, they don't have to worry about that. And now Buddy Matthews is gonna debut for New Japan.
Well, I don't think Cassie and Jesse got their visas from Impact. I think they had to get them themselves, because I listen to Off Her Chops every now and then, and they kind of talked about having to get them and do them themselves, and that's why it took them so long to sign with Impact.
Well, because a company wasn't. I don't think a company was going to. They had to either get a certain kind of deal with the company to get the work visa thing, or they had to do it themselves. It was either two roads to get, and I think, like you said, I think I heard them say that they went the route of just doing it themselves instead of waiting, and that's probably why they were able to debut probably as soon as they did, even though it wasn't that soon. Seemed like it took forever, but
yeah,
I
think I'm not exactly sure how this works, but I'm pretty sure that Mojo Rawley kind of owns a independent wrestler management company, and he posted that he was willing to help anybody who got released recently, and he's been helping Jesse and Cassie and all of the recent releases. So I think they're definitely gonna land on their feet, and they'll be in a good position.
Yeah, I don't know what Mojo's up to. I have been slacking. I haven't been paying attention. I always liked him. I even though nobody else did, he never got a chance. I kind of always liked Mojo.
Some crazy stuff. He has, I think even Adam Cole and Britt are signed to his management company now. So I saw it on Instagram 2 months ago or something like that. But he's doing amazing things. So
that's what's up. Good. Yeah, that's great. So, well, you just want to get into the tonight's shows. pivot from that into WWE SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown. Yeah. So we had the opening. All right, so the show opened with, like usual, we're going to have an interview segment probably to open. I haven't, tell you what, I actually watched SmackDown and a full WWE non-pay-per-view just for you guys tonight for the first time, and I could not tell you how long, probably over 6 months. And I just,
oh my god,
Wow.
Normally when I watch like so Raw literally came to my state on Monday, and I was like, I'm not going to that. I'm not going to do that to myself emotionally, because I know whenever a show like this comes on, I watch for like an hour and then I fall asleep because I can't do it. I literally wrote in my notes, I wrote a time. I said 9:39, wanted to fall asleep. This show dragged. I was like, Jaychele, you can't go to sleep. You got to do the podcast. You can't go to sleep.
Well,
Until
happens.
like the main event, I was like, I can't do this.
My my co-host Dom on our other podcast, he always falls asleep. Like I'm always I couldn't tell you how many times we're getting ready to do this show at like 11, and I'm like, hey man, I haven't heard from him in like 45 minutes, and he just won't answer, and I'm like, oh shit, and I've got to scramble and find somebody to replace him as a host. So I understand SmackDown putting you to sleep. That happens. And I honestly, I try to watch it, and I usually just get like 10, because I'm usually not the one doing the after show. We usually have the other guys doing it, so I've kind of stop forcing myself to watch it unless I like have to. But I'll try. I'll turn it on, and then I'll sit for like 15-20 minutes into it. Then I'm like, this guy is fine. It's not something. It's usually a sport. I usually watch some sports or something instead. But I actually did it all tonight. It wasn't horrible. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It's the same format that I expected to see. But I haven't watched the show in like 6 to 8 months, like I said. And it's like the exact everything I expected to see. But we got the Usos and the Bloodlines opening the show. And did anybody else notice that it kind of sounded like they were piping in fake crowd noise again? If they're a little bit, because they showed the crowd and it sounded like everybody was booing and nobody's mouth was moving. Like the whole like main people. So it's like, oh, only the upper deck is booing. I never understand that. And we got a guest. We got the usual Friday night host. Let me fix this. He's gonna jump in with us here. What up, my man?
Yo,
What's up, buddy?
Your boy is in the house. Look, man.
Where are you? Are you in a car?
I'm in my car.
Okay.
Leaving the airport, going to the hotel.
The commitment.
Man.
I love it.
And I was like, I got to get on. I got to say what's up to your cast. I got to say hello to the newbies. Welcome, ladies.
This is the team, man. Yeah, this is. It's a funny that you popped in right when you did, because I literally just transitioned into saying like, I'm usually not the one that watches the show because you usually take over the post show duties for me, but I watched all of SmackDown tonight because you were traveling, man. So what do you do? Were you in Texas tonight?
Yes, sir.
What part?
Austin.
Austin. Are you wrestling tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Who for it? Plug it. Let's hear it.
I got the OIWA North American Heavyweight Title match tomorrow night. Myself versus the BCW Worldwide Television Champion Gregor Petrov. Champion versus champion. Unfortunately, only my redhead girlfriend's on the line instead of his. It is what it is.
Anybody else on the show? Who else is going to be there?
Oh shit, I don't know. Last time I checked, Gary Wolf was going to be there. Pitbull Gary Wolf from the original ECW.
Okay.
Some other people. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't care. My championship's on the line. That's all I really care about. So tell me, ladies. Tell me about you guys. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the crazy Bodyslam.net world.
Yeah.
So are you guys enjoying it? Are you guys proud to be part of the clique? That's the real super clique.
Dude, they fit in great. It's gonna be good.
I'm super excited. I'm super, super excited. I literally have been like following Cassidy, I think since I want to say it was right around All Out when I started like paying attention to Bodyslam, and I was like,
nice.
Oh my god, he's doing amazing things.
That was a big month. That was when most people started like, okay, he's been on a tear. He actually knows what he's doing finally. And I'm like, finally, people are finally noticing. So good. Well, good to have you on. Welcome to the team. And Carisa, we've chatted for a while, and tell Bad Blood about yourself as well here. kick in a little bit of information.
So I've been following Kaz for a while now. I just opened up my new Twitter account not that long ago because my first one got suspended, and I had a big following there. I myself, I love wrestling, all types of wrestling. I've been watching wrestling since I was 8, but then started watching it again after a long hiatus at 17. So I'm still catching up to a lot of things.
Nice. All right. So which one of you are going to join us on the Monday Night Mayhem show on Monday night when we talk about the craziness that is really awful wrestling? I mean, Monday Night Raw.
Who's in?
I'll do it.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll
You got them both.
venture
You got them
myself.
both. You got them both. Look at that. Easy.
All
sell.
right. So here's the deal, ladies. Follow me on Twitter. Find me on Facebook, whatnot. We will talk throughout the weekend. I will get you guys the links, and I will tell you right now, basically what we do on the show is we talk about wrestling, we shoot the shit, and we have as you know what? As a matter of fact, let me do this real quick before I get out of here.
Do it, man.
I have a game that I play every week with specific people, and I'm gonna play it with you two ladies. The game is simple. It's called Team With, Feud With, or Fire. Now, basically, you can team with anyone in the industry, alive or dead, no matter who it is. You can also feud with the same person or same type of individuals, or you can fire any motherfucker you want. It doesn't matter who it is. So, Team With, Feud With, the Fire. I'll start with you, Carissa.
Team with? I'd have to say Zelina Vega because that's like a close friend of mine, so I'm gonna say her. Feud with? Ooh, probably Britt Baker.
Ooh, okay.
That's a good one.
She's throwing it all out there. How about the queen of the ring and the AEW World Women's Champion? Okay. Now, who would you fire?
Who would I fire? That is a tough one.
Now, you don't have to say why you would fire him unless you want to.
I don't. Oh my god, it's such a tough one. I'd want to fire Madison Rain.
Well, wow.
Okay.
I was just about to say, in the wake of the mass releases yesterday, we probably shouldn't be firing anybody on the show.
I was gonna say, are we gonna go high road here? And you're like, nah, man. More.
Look,
pile on.
the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. We are the heels, the heel group of Bodyslam.net. We are the bad guys. We are the quote unquote heels. Kate Hensler from
we
Fightful.
love Kate.
Fightful.
Yeah, they did a show with Kate yesterday. They were on.
I know.
Distraction with Kate
I watched
yesterday.
it. I watched it. Kate's my girl, ladies and gentlemen. She's going to be on the podcast. She's going to be on the podcast Monday night, as a matter of fact.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's going to be all girls. Man, I'm gonna have to get like the
Another
5 or
there.
6. Yeah, the 5 or 6 person
We'll have to figure
thing
it out.
right here.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to do it. I have to get somebody on the how to build that.
Yeah.
Make that. We'll have to run a test and see how we can even make it look. I don't even know. We're getting over my head with technical. I'm the most amateur hour. I run the most amateur hour Bush League shop ever. But yeah, we'll figure it out, dude. Computers are not my wheelhouse at all. I promise. I'm sorry, but
Okay, Jaychele.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Your turn.
My team with, I'm gonna go current. I'm gonna say Carmelo Hayes. He's my current favorite right now, so I'm gonna go with him.
He never missed.
I'm gonna have to say AJ Lee or AJ Mendez now. She's like my all-time favorite female wrestler. And fire Chris Jericho.
Oh shit! Why would you fire? Why would you fire Jericho? I gotta know.
Okay, 1, his misogyny. 2, his racism. 3, him being at the January 6th protest with his wife. And that's enough for me.
Man.
So
I wish I had a mic. I'd drop it right now. That's the heat right there. That's a hot take.
I'm not even going to argue with any of those reasons.
Man, Jaychele, you don't fit in good at the round table. Trust me.
Yeah, I like it.
She's spitting fire, bro.
Popping shots.
So, hey, you guys have a great night. Cass, You're doing a great job as always, my man.
Thanks, man.
Adam Woods is
hold the
excited
fort
about.
down without you, buddy. I'm just trying to fill in on your shoes that you set the nice standard for and keeping everybody entertained on nights after our TV programming is over.
Hey, man, I'm just the man who sits next to the man.
Hey, man, we're all in this together.
Exactly.
Hey, let us know tomorrow how your match goes, man. Good luck tomorrow night, buddy.
I will do that. And I will get in touch with you guys about Monday night. Ladies and gentlemen, Monday Night Mayhem on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast on Bodyslam.net, 8 p.m.
Right
Pacific Standard Time. We get crazy. We get wild. Go like, click, and subscribe. We give shit away. We have a good time, y'all. I'm out, y'all.
Man.
Peace.
See you, buddy.
Bye. I'm going to save all of my hot takes now for Monday. I wasn't even prepared to give a take like that.
Oh, no, that's best. He puts you on the spot. London. That's what we do around here. But yeah, while we're plugging, let me do this. Yeah, make sure everybody will roll the ticker. Yeah, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys, so you can make sure to catch everything we do here. We'll do, like you said, Monday night we have the roundtable with him, and I don't know who he's got. He always has guests. It's a rotating cast through there, so you guys will be on, obviously. But you can follow us if you look at the bottom right there. Subscribe to us at just search for bodyslam.net pro wrestling on YouTube. You can find us, subscribe to us there. And while we're at it, pitch your Twitter handles, everybody. I see yours, Jaychele, right there, and Carisa, you don't have yours. Tell everybody how they can follow you if they don't yet, which I'm assuming they do.
You guys can follow me on my Twitter at CarisaL517. You can follow my Instagram, which I don't really post as much, but I try. You can follow me at Carisa __ on my Instagram. I am close to 1,800 followers, so if you can, go give me a follow.
I'll be sure to do that when I get off here, too.
I'm doing a giveaway on my Twitter right now for a $25 Pro Wrestling Tees or Shop AEW gift cards. If you want to enter that, you can just follow my Twitter, and I'll have all the information on there as well.
Awesome.
And make sure you subscribe so you guys can watch Cassidy take chops from pro wrestlers. It's my favorite series.
Oh my God, y'all! I have if you like that, wait till you see some of the ones that are coming up. I'm building. They're all building. Like they've all been pretty rough, but like the next couple, like so. The one from Jordan, that was a good one. It was mistakenly, he hit me low. It was good. He laid into me, but I think the one I'm going to release tomorrow, I don't know. What do you guys want to see? I'll give you some options. Do you want me to do, the order that I filmed them was how I was going to do it. So next would have been Charlie Tiger, another Young, Dumb, and Broke, but I could bump that one till a little bit later and then do Masha Slamovich. I have her I could drop. Or I can do, but I got to do, if I do the other ones, I got to do these two in order. Effie and then AJ Gray, because AJ Gray is the one that everybody's going to want to see. Yeah, so, I mean, do we want to put Masha, I always say Masha. She's like, don't say I say it wrong. It's Masha. Do we want to put Masha's and Charlie's first, or do we want to put those a couple weeks back? I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. Who starts next week? Is it going to be Effie to do the Effie and AJ run, or do we finish out the Young, Dumb, and Broke run here tomorrow for the release?
I think you should finish it out. I think you got to make people wait.
Yeah, that's what I was building to, because and the best part about this one, nobody realizes I literally filmed these all within like 30, 45 seconds apart. So it's like I took one and did it and literally put my shirt right back on and was like, okay, let's do this next one. And then did the next one. And then, so I did 7 of them that weekend. I did 3 of them in the afternoon before a show, took the show off to like watch whatever show we watched that day. And then did the next 4 that night after Sunday. It was Sunday. So it was after the, Joey Janela and Suzuki, whatever that Aftermath or whatever that show was. But yeah, I did Charlie, and then right after that, no, I did Charlie, then Colby, which I've already released Colby. So I did those 2 back to back, and then I was gonna take another break, and then Effie comes out. He's like, "Do you want to film this?" And I was like, "Nah." I was gonna do it after we hung out. And he's like, "No, let's just do it now." I was like, "Oh shit." He's already done like 2 in a row, and he's like, "Oh, the hesitation is the best part." So yeah, so I did Effie, and he really laid into me too, man. He had a good one, and then he was like, "Don't even put your shirt on, just go." So I like literally it starts with me. Then for the AJ Gray one is just me shirtless, just sitting there, just like busted up from Effie right away. And then it opened, they pan out, and you get to see AJ Gray just sitting there, just like shaking his head, like I can't believe I'm getting to do this next to you. And so, for those of you that have played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, the original Nintendo video game, he literally turns me into King Hippo. He hits me so hard that I literally fall back and slide 10 feet on the floor. It was brutal.
Cassidy is going to turn into Brian in the Suzuki match and just
Dude,
evaporate.
Did you see the pictures? I posted pictures as soon as I got done of like, I was so bloody. My chest was so bloody. Minnesota's going to be fun too, because I don't know if I've showed you the screenshot of my conversation with Nyla Rose. But for weeks now, she has been, she's very excited about chopping me this next weekend.
I met her last week. She signed my championship belt, her and Vicky. She's
a good friend of mine. I went to her birthday party this year after the, after Homecoming Dynamite. We all went out. I was the only guy. I say I'm not, but they say I was. And I was like, Sunny Kiss was there. And I was like, so it's just us two and then all the ladies. So they all remember me from that. So Nyla and I had a blast on her birthday. But yeah, she's so excited about chopping me. I'm not looking forward to it, honestly.
I can't wait to see that. I think that's gonna be my favorite video.
2 weeks ago, she told me to write a will. This week, she told me, I'm going to slaughter you, and then send a bunch of the purple devil horned emojis. So, yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good film. I know we got that one planned for next week. I think, who else said they're going to do Bear Country? If they were up there, I think they're going to get me. So, I don't know if I'm going to do both of them at the same time, or if we're going to do like one with Boulder and one with Bronson. So, that'll happen. That's going to be painful. And then the new star of Bodyslam, Lucy. You guys know Lucy? Wrestling with Lucy, my 5-year-old friend's daughter, the correspondent. She wants to chop me. She's been practicing. I've been seeing videos. She's been sending me videos. Lucy's gonna chop me.
Oh my God.
She said that so far it looks like nobody's really made me feel pain, so she's going to kill me. Is what she told. I think is what something along those lines was the. I've gotten videos. She's been taunting me. It's gregreat.
Is she cutting promos on you? Oh my God. I would die.
Yeah. No, Jake has sent me a video of her with just like practicing her two-handed chops or single chops or flying chops. It's just nothing but training videos that I keep getting sent of just her like just getting in my head. She's all in my kitchen already. The 5-year-old is already psychologically just gotten into me for this one. So yeah, it's going to be good. We got those at least lined up, and I'm sure there's going to be other ones because Marco's already, I think Luther, if he's there, wanted to get in on it. So he might even throw Serpentico at me. I think he might just chop me with Serpentico, I think was what somebody suggested.
That would be so good.
So I said that would be the best way to do it. I told him, I was like, if you don't do that, I'm disappointed in you. But so hopefully we'll have some more episodes filmed. But I've got, like I said,
you need to make Luther talk in the voice. You need to make him do the yelling voice, though. That's the only way I want the video.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Good. All this. We'll take notes for all this. We'll write down. All these are great ideas. So we'll try to make it happen. I'll tag in Luther in this later too, and being like, "Hey, man, you're heavily requested to be on one of these episodes." But yeah, so that'll be fun next week. So we got that going. But yeah, I got four episodes in the can, and then whatever I film next week, I might go Sunday down to Atlanta to watch Championship Wrestling from Atlanta. They're doing a TV taping and see who I can get on that.
I know who you should get.
Who?
Zicky Dice.
Oh, I tried. I couldn't get. He was busy last time. So when I was down there the night before I flew, because I went down there for the last round of tapings the night before I flew out to Atlantic City, or I flew to Philly, then Atlantic City. But so I was down there for that, and I was trying to get him, but they were all busy, and I knew I'd be back before I had so many going. I knew I had time to get back down. But yeah, I'm gonna try. He's one of the ones I was planning. I wanted to try to get Marina Shafir to get into me too. So that'll be fun.
That'd be so good. Yeah.
So I'll let you know that's my Sunday plan. I'm gonna try to go down there and film some content if I get motivated to run down to Norcross, Georgia. I think it's only like 3 hours from where I am, so it's not too far. But we got sidetracked. That's what we do here. I don't know if you know that about me.
I can't believe you said it's only like 3 hours. Oh my God. Like driving for like 45 minutes. I live in Rhode Island, like the smallest state. I'm like, oh my God, 45 minutes is so long.
I'm in North Carolina where it takes like 6 hours to get across the state, almost 5.5 to 6 hours to get from where I live in the tip. I'm literally like in the west, almost one of the furthest parts west you can get in North Carolina. So I'm right near the Tennessee line. So I'm like a good 2.5 hour radius from Charlotte, Atlanta. I can get to Knoxville in an hour and a half, Greenville, South Carolina in an hour and a half or an hour. So it's all pretty close. But I'm right outside of Asheville, so nothing happens around here. So yeah, I have to kind of travel to do everything. A 3-hour drive to me is nothing. I don't know if you noticed the month I had before I started flying, but I drove to Chicago, and then I turned around 2 days later and drove to Philly. And then I think before that, I drove to Nashville for Bobby Eaton's funeral. So I did like 4,000 miles in my car within like a month. So I've taken some break. So I can put a little bit of driving into it. But yeah, you guys up there, you're in Rhode Island. We got you in New York. You guys are like what, an hour from each other, probably. Like everything's close up there, right?
I mean, more like 3, I want to say. I mean, it depends what part of New York you're in.
I live in Queens, so
Okay,
I live
probably like
the deep side of Queens, like closer to like Long Island.
Yeah, we're probably looking at like 3 or so, yeah. But I'm moving to Atlanta in like 4 months, so I'm very excited for that. So
you said you're moving to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, see, that'll be good. Like we talked about that. I'm down there all the time. My family lives down there, so I try to, and like I said, it's nothing for me just to drive down there to try to watch some wrestling. So I'm here in the mountains of North Carolina. There's nothing happening here, so I'll take a 2-hour excursion to go find something to entertain me for a little bit.
Doesn't
so, yeah,
Edge like Edge lives in that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he lives in Nashville. I see him all the time in town. Like you'll see him just walking around downtown. Nobody bothers him. He'll be at the movie theater. I usually run into him at the movie theater. I run into him twice there at concerts. So I'll be at concerts. I'll just be standing in line. And he'll just like be walking by, and nobody's making any like big fuss about it. I'm just like pointing at him, like, guys, do you not see that Edge is walking by? And nobody acknowledges it. And he'll walk by me and be like, my man, and just like high five and just go get in the back of the ticket line. And I'm just like, did nobody really just see that? And everybody's just like, what? And I'm like, dude, just like fucking Edge just walked by and just high five me. They're like, oh, is that
the
who that
rated
was?
R superstar.
Yeah, I've got pictures I can show you like of us at concerts where I'm just like, and it's weird too. Like I'll be in the show, just like just like hanging out, and I like turn to my right, and I'm like, oh, there's Edge. He's like literally right next to me. Like we kind of like rocked our way next to each other a couple of times at like I think it was once with Zach Sabbath, which was Zach Wild Black Sabbath cover band. That was when I can't remember what the other one was. It was within like a month of each other, 2 months with each other. I saw him twice at the concert, but people see him all the time. Man. It's crazy. And also, I mean, that's where Dax Harwood lives now. He's Asheville too. And Cash, he's from here. I mean, that's how I know him. We got to be buddies growing up. Man, I've known him since before he got famous. We all grew up in the mountains together up here. So yeah, there's not much that happens up here. It's a slow little. The city's wild. When I went to the Queens, I was overwhelmed. I'm like, you can take a train to get places? Like, this is insane. We don't even have trains down here. Like, the train we have down here is like, it's a scenic, like, let's drive around the mountains, and just like a train in the mountains just shows people leaves. You don't take the train to get anywhere. You take the train to spend $100 to put your family in the mountains to see leaves for the weekend. So I was blown away by like the transportation use of a train when I went up north this last week. Last month or whenever it was.
We have a bunch of trains that go, if you're in Queens, there's the A train that goes uptown all the way to like the Dominican side of Manhattan, so like uptown. So that's like an hour, 2 hours tops, depending on what time you take. Like there's a lot of trains here.
I was on the purple. Was it 7 or what was the train I was on? Is there a 7 train?
Yeah, that's a 7 train.
That's the one I was on.
Ash, Carisa?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't.
Did you?
No? Are you going to the Long Island show?
I wish, but I don't have a ride, and it's somewhat far because it depends on where in Long Island I actually travel to. Like, I think a few years ago when I was doing competitions and I was traveling, we drove from my house all the way to like Hicksville. I think it was like an hour and a half. So it really depends on where exactly in Long Island I'm supposed to be headed to. But I'm not going to the Long Island shows. I really want to go to Survivor Series. I want to go to Survivor Series, but I don't think I'm going to go. But I know for sure I'm going to meet Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose on November 20th at...
Oh, they're doing the donut thing.
Yeah,
right?
I'm meeting them for the first time.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
So exciting.
What about you? Are you going to
give you chops?
Yeah, dude, jump in. What's really funny is the one of the other people that I was going to introduce you guys to, but she couldn't jump on. She wants, and when we were in Minnesota, wants to do episodes where she takes shots with me as well with some of the female wrestlers. I'm like, hey, more than welcome. But like, it's not as fun as it sounds, I promise. But do it. Let's go.
Oh my God.
What about you? Are you gonna go to the Long Island show?
I went to AEW Boston. I was there last week.
Okay.
I'm trying to show you this picture I took with Sammy. I was literally crying. Can you see that? That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, he's the
Oh,
best, man. He's great.
Oh my
I met Sammy and I met Nyla and Vicky, and I was literally crying. It was the first time I had ever met wrestlers, like ever. Like, 'cause I only went to like WWE shows, and they don't have like meet and greets for you to go to.
No,
so.
they don't. It's terrible, man.
Right.
That's one thing I love about AEW is how it's really a nice experience for the fans, and they make you feel like you're part of everything, and it's great. That's my favorite part about what they do, and things like that too. Like you get a chance to meet people, and it's fun, man.
I mean, especially for me, because I started watching wrestling only like 2 years ago, and I just got hooked after not watching it, and now I'm getting the opportunity to meet two WWE superstars, two women that I actually enjoy watching on my television screen. I think I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, you're gonna cry. I cried.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel
but,
good.
But
they're so used to it, and they're just like, oh, I love you so. And it's gonna make them give you a hug and love you even more because they're just like that's what I mean. That's what they're there for. They're there. I mean, they love this. They're celebrity. I mean, it's being a celebrity. Part of being a celebrity is to connect with fans and realize that the effect you have on people. And I had that conversation with Cash when he was hurt, actually, because he was getting such an outpour from people talking to him and just wishing him well and just telling him all these stories about when he'd met him and just all these little things that times that he had impacted people's lives. And it's just I like to see wrestlers that do well with their celebrity and do these meet and greets the right way and stuff. So yeah, they're gonna love you. They're gonna love it. Like they're always good at that. So
and I even texted Zelina Vega. Like I text her all the time. I'm like, I really hope I get to meet you one day. And if I was gonna go to Survivor Series, I know for a fact she's gonna be there. I really want to meet her because we're both from Queens, and I have such a great relationship with her. Like we know each other so well. Like I'm one of her biggest fans, her biggest one of her number one supporters, and I tell I just want to meet you. Like I don't know, I just want to meet you. And she's like, soon. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh yeah. She's great. I haven't met her since I think it was Impact was when I met her. So I haven't met her since then. So that'd be great. What were you saying about Survivor Series? I didn't mean to cut you off.
I just wanted to. I was going to kind of transition because we have done no planning for Survivor Series on SmackDown or Raw, and we're like 2 weeks away.
Oh, it is like 2 weeks away. You're right. Oh, are you shocked? So honestly, close. There's no matches.
They're just going to throw random people in the matches and just be like, "Oh, Survivor Series, brand Supremacy Warfare."
We're probably. I mean, we might get 1 or 2 Survivor Series matches, like classic matches. Everything else is going to be singles. They don't do Survivor Series like they used to do, where it's like, oh, the 5-on-5, the eliminators, and you get nothing but that. Then maybe 1 or 2 singles matches that matter. Instead, it's the exact opposite. They'll put a piece together, a random male team from SmackDown and a random male team from Raw, and then probably a female from each, and maybe include some NXT, if even that somehow.
They're not going to do that this year.
But I don't even think they will, because there's no point to anymore, because they're not treating it as a third brand. It's back to being developmental, so I don't expect them to do that at all. So I think we'll get two Survivor Series matches.
In my opinion, the Survivor Series with NXT was the best modern Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
It was so unique from what we have been seeing, especially because they didn't even really mean for it to happen. They just needed NXT stars, and they were like, can you guys do this? And we'll put you in Survivor Series. So WWE can't book for anything, so they only have happy accidents.
I talked about it. They have too many cooks in the kitchen. It's like, I think they would be okay if they actually would let their creative department try. It's so haphazardly put together. It's like they'll write something out and then they present it, and then Monday or Tuesday it gets ripped up and then rewritten on the fly. And then it's hard to have continuity and carry anything over when you can't plan more than a week out, because you never know if that's just going to get scrapped,
Yeah. And
so I think that has a lot to do with it.
Compared to AEW service, I was watching Road to the Top, during, the feud that Cody had with Anthony. I saw that backstage, he was in his dressing room with Tony, and he actually had his own promo that he
notebook
there.
Dude, Tony has notebooks full of booking. I've seen him because I go to these after parties and hang out with everybody, and I've spoken to Tony a
And
couple times.
that picture of his notebook that went viral for full gear.
It's a real thing. He carries that notebook. He's got tons of them. He's talked about it before. He's got books of fantasy booking that he just written notebooks full when he was a kid. He's like, I've been booking this show since I was 16 years old. So he does it, man. It's just and you can see the difference. It's easy to see it in the product, the way that he treats the booking and the long term arcs and tellings and twists and turns that really take you someplace instead of just kind of having no real end game and just are kind of just put together just because, well, we got to fill something, so make something happen with these two guys. I don't know. That's my thoughts on the booking. It's just, I think it's easier when you've got one guy that has a vision instead of having like a bunch of people putting something together and then running it by this one guy who has something in his mind and it doesn't meet what he wants and he's just going to tell you what to write. So I don't understand the formula that they have WWE for their booking. Like, if it has to go through Vince and he's not going to like what you put on paper, then why doesn't he pretty much just tell you what to write and then just let you write it anyway? I don't understand.
Exactly.
But I don't know. Were you fans of the old Survivor Series, or was that too before your time? Because I'm an old man, so I grew up watching all the original Survivor Series where you would have just 6 of those matches during the Survivor Series card. That really was cool because it took everybody's storyline and just kind of they would bring them together around Survivor Series time to make the matches make sense. So it's not like the match is just random people. It was like, a couple of people having a feud. They tied in with these other two guys having a feud, and then that is your match, and they would do that numerous times throughout the show. So it made sense. But I don't know. Did you ever get to enjoy any of those old early 90s, late 80s Survivor Series?
I've watched like a few things. I like my extensive knowledge of Survivor Series really only goes back to like bragging rights time and like up to then, like 2010 2011-ish is kind of like where I am most like knowledgeable, I guess, from then on. But I'm trying to like go back like and try to watch like some older stuff as well.
See, that interests me. This is what I love. That's why I'm so glad to have you guys on, because you're both relatively newer fans, you know what I mean? You've picked up it in the modern era. So going back, and how does the old product translate for you, since like this style is what has got your attention and made you a fan? The old style and old wrestling from the 80s and 90s when I was a kid, going back and watching it is totally different. It's not the same product at all. And I don't know, are you able to sit and watch old ones and enjoy it as much, or is it just boring? Because it bores me sometimes going back and watching the old pay-per-view. So I don't know. What about you guys? What do you think?
Sometimes it's boring, but like I just do it out of like respect for the business. Like if I want to actually enjoy this product, I need to like learn the history. I can't just like go off of what I know now. So even if it's like boring, I guess everything has to evolve, and that's exactly what happens in wrestling. So in order to learn, you have to look at the history of it. So
yeah, and that's one. Yeah, like you said, at least most of these people you're watching are, who they are now, because they're all like most of them are Hall of Famers, or of them through reasons of their Hall of Fame counterparts that they met along the way. So there's reasons for that. Yeah, I get that. That's cool. What about you, Carisa? Do you like any of the old stuff? Do you catch yourself turning in the old product to watch when you don't have anything else on?
Honestly, not so much, but like I just enjoy watching, like the 2017, 2016 kind of like, I guess, years, because that's when a lot of changes happen, like Women's Evolution, Royal Rumble, just different faces, people who I'd never seen, because I took a big break from 2011 to 2000 and I'd say mid to late 2019-ish. I started watching like October 2019 again.
Nice. Yeah, they had done that mass stockpiling of talent. So when you came back in, there's just so much new people, and then now they've gotten rid of most of that to go elsewhere, honestly. But yeah, that's interesting to me, because I'm 38. I'm an old man. I'm the old man of the group here, And I started watching wrestling when I was 5. And I pretty much watched nonstop. I took a little bit of a break when I was in college. And it wasn't because I was too busy with school. It's because I was out drinking on Friday night, so I couldn't watch SmackDown or Impact. You know what I mean? And a couple of times we'd go watch because I lived in Knoxville, so we'd go to the Impact Zone in Nashville and watch I think I went to 3 or 4 of those pay-per-views when they just did weekly pay-per-views. So I've been around the block, man. I don't know who we were talking about this with the other day, but I was like, if you watch old Nitros or WCW pay-per-views that were at the Asheville Civic Center, you can find me in the front row, a little pudgy-cheeked fat version of me, like bowl cut and everything, front row. It's awesome. I'm waiting for people to go back and find them. I've got them all screenshotted. I know it, so I'm waiting for people to do it and find it. And so I'd be like, "Is this you?" And I'd be like, "Mm-hmm." Massimo shirt or whatever it is. Great stuff. Like, yeah, it's gonna happen. So I took a break though. I think when I was in college, I was probably like early 2000s though, and I got back into it probably 2007 or 8. So right before the Benoit stuff. So I took about a 4-year break, but. Yeah, I'm interested in. I'm glad to have y'all. I'm using my Southern language again. Have your opinions and input on this because, like I said, it's different from me because I'm old and I've been seasoned and I've watched so much wrestling in my life that I'm kind of what's the word, desensitized to it. It's all just I was robotic watching it. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get this. I can almost predict that when things are gonna happen too.
Oh my God, I can do that too. I literally. Like, it's a newer thing for me, but like I'm like, okay, this spot's about to happen. I was literally, I think I was like brushing my teeth or something, and I had like Dynamite on, and I went, oh, he's gonna do a Hurricane Rana, and my mom goes, huh? And he does a Hurricane Rana, and I was like,
you can start seeing him start to get set up like the catch like this. You start seeing the guy doing that, like, oh, he's gonna do a Hurricane Rana. Yeah. But yeah, it's stuff you pick up now that you're like paying more attention on the inside. And these are conversations I like having with my friends that don't ever watch wrestling other than when they're sitting on my couch. They're like, they notice me pointing out things like that, and it's just fun to me. But also, I managed for a little bit. When I first got back into wrestling, I did wrestling school here in town, and the little shithole school we had, and that's how I met Chase Owens when he was first starting out. Now he's in Bullet Club in New Japan. So Chase and I are like, that's one of my best friends. Love Chase to death, but I used to ride around with him and Ricky. So that's how I got into this and really got back into it full time, other than just being like a hobby, was because of him and doing that. So I like having a new, different opinions and viewpoints because mine, like I said, is kind of different than most because I kind of grew up in this differently than most people did. I was doing dirt sheets and news when I was 15, 16. So like 1998 during the Monday Night Wars, I was doing the same thing, typing up reports. So I've done this forever.
Wow.
So yeah, so you kind of lose a lot of passion on it, honestly, too, because it's work to me. It's been work for so long. So I like to try to get fresh energy. It helps. It makes me have more fun with it, honestly. But what were you gonna ask? Please ask.
How like I always see people comparing this like on Twitter and stuff. But how different is it now, like being in the era of like AEW and WWE versus like being in the era of WCW and WWE?
It's a lot different, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that the internet and it was just in its infancy, like during the Monday Night Wars, because if you go back and watch now, you see WCW plug in their like CompuServe chat room, like we got 8,000 people we can put into the chat room, and that was huge to be able to, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. So it made a big difference because like they weren't. And ECW was the first to really heavily rely on the internet's influence. They were, reading. They were taking advantage of dirt sheets, using the hype, and their fan base was that smart, the smarks, the smart marquee kind of fan. So that made a big difference, and we didn't have streaming services. We didn't have DVR. I literally had to either flip channels back and forth or set up 2 TVs and try to like run an extra cable from another box to have 2 TVs next to each other, like to be able to watch both at the same time. And now you can just pick which one you want and record the other one and go back and watch it later. So it's different to me. And I think now it actually feels like competition because you've started to see going a little bit more head to head and the chippiness. And obviously WWE is treating it like it's competition, even though they won't acknowledge it as being competition, but it's totally different feel. And it had been for a long time because I don't think WWE ever really felt like they had any competition. So the product was stale and they were making money regardless, and it didn't really matter. But now you're kind of getting back into that thing with ratings and people give a shit about numbers again, and it's a conversation that when was really like a ratings conversation really important before, like since the 90s when this was happening. And then they always got reported and talked about, but when was it really a heavy discussion other than now again that we're actually having AEW versus the WWE debates? And it happened a little bit with Impact or TNA, but because I lived through that too. Like I said, I was going to those pay-per-views weekly in Nashville a couple times because we just drive 2 hours down the road on a Wednesday night if we didn't have school classes Thursday morning and go check it out. So that was fun too, but it's just different. And I think in the internet, it's hard to explain because, you guys have grown up with social media and the internet and wrestlers having Twitter and, Instagram and all this. None of that shit was there. So you really didn't have any insight as to what was going on unless you went to like a website to get news, or you went to like a chat room and had them talk. And then, half the time, you never know if like they got somebody telling them what to type, or if it's really what they wanted to say. I remember that being like, this just seems like there's somebody just sitting there telling Lex Luger what he needs to type in this chat room that we're doing here tonight backstage. It's sold out 97 or whatever kind of bullshit, that you'd be part of. But I don't know. It's a different environment. I think it's good now too, because it's made it. I feel like the internet has affected the business, honestly, a lot, and people's voices and opinions make a difference now. And like, I don't know, decisions like that they make, if the internet doesn't like it, you see like WWE kind of change things based on that. And before, you would never have that. They didn't give a shit what, like, they didn't know. Also, it was like, what would they do? Poll, like send out a poll of 100 people and get some market research on it. It's just a totally different environment. And
do you remember when they used to have like Tout and they used to do?
I do remember Tout. I remember when that first came out. I remember when that first came out, and I was like, "This is weird. That's not going to last." And it didn't last. But now it's the same thing as TikTok. It's the same thing.
If they do a shoot, if they actually like do a shoot like cyber pay-per-view again, like if they actually like let us decide, if you give us like 4 wrestlers and say, who do you want this person to face, and you let us actually choose, you will have one of the best pay-per-views of the year.
See, my problem with that was I never really, because they used to do that with like Cyber Sunday or whatever, or Taboo Tuesday, and WCW did it once on a Nitro, because I just randomly popped on a pay-per-view and they were talking about the Nitro they did. That was the interactive CompuServe Nitro, where people did the same thing where they voted. How much of those votes, like, they always put up a graphic that they put together that shows the stats moving. I'm like, is that really what we're voting? Yeah, is that really what we're voting? Like a Twitter poll would be the way to do it. You know what I mean? Something like that, where it's like transparent. It's out of their hands. Put the poll up on their Twitter. Because the results are there and they're not in control of it. That'd be the only way I would like it, because I don't trust them to give you the actual power to put that match into perspective or into action, unless it's on something like that, like a Twitter or an outside source that does the poll. But I would love to have that. ECW used to do it, and they actually did it because it was their Cyber Slam. They did the same thing where they would have fans pick the matches and vote and stuff, and they would do it. It was great. So I would love to see it come back. It was a great gimmick, but how WWE is. They can't be trusted to run it correctly.
At all.
No.
We're like an hour in. I think we should.
We haven't even talked about it. So this is great. It ended up turning to be let's meet you, which is what I wanted to do anyway. And we did a very shitty job of it in the first 15 minutes. But this is great. But yeah, we don't have to go. I definitely want to talk about the shows tonight. But yeah, let's just do it. We got the SmackDown. We had the opener. The New Day came out and they set up their match for later in the night. The Bloodline New Day match is set it up for later with King Woods versus Jimmy Uso, the bend the knee, all that. So that was fun. But then the first match we had was what? Naomi and Shayna? Was that right? I think. Did your notes match my notes? I got a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, I had Woods got new music also. And
he did get new music, didn't he?
They're calling Kofi Sir Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, Sir Kofi and King Woods. I really like what they're doing. I kind of enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, they're hilarious.
They've done this so many times with this.
Sir.
King of the Ring stuff. You know what I mean? They've tried it. So how many times King Corbin didn't go over well?
No.
King Sheamus. How many? King Booker was the only
Sheamus
one that
was
it
horrible.
really worked. Yeah, King Booker worked, but I think this is going to work great. I think because they're so entertaining, kind of like how Booker
Right.
T was
And
just
he actually
overly
wants
entertaining.
it.
Yeah,
Like he was petitioning for it, and they gave it to him, which was like the shock of the year for me because I thought that they just hate their wrestlers. So
right. Surprised they listen to something? They listen to their employees. That's shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, that was good. And what'd you think of the music? Did you like it?
Oh yeah, I didn't at the beginning. I didn't even know if it was actually new music or not. I was like, am I just hearing stuff? But later in the show when they came out, I was like, okay, this actually does like fit Woods, and he looks like he likes it, and Kofi's dancing and stuff like that. So
yeah, it fits. I like it. I like their the royalty kind of angle they're doing with this, and it reminds me of what they used to do every year when the King of the Ring mattered. You had King Mo or King Mabel and Sir Mo. This is what we've got. We've got King Woods and Sir Kofi. It's men on a mission again. I mean, it's great. I love it. He's like you said, he's making something relevant that wasn't before. He petitioned for it, and I think it's great. I'm enjoying it. I hadn't watched, like I said, I hadn't watched SmackDown. I haven't watched it in forever. I'd turn it on, I'd tune it out. It'd be on. I wouldn't be paying attention, but I actually watched this one, and I enjoyed everything that he did. They're always good. They always are good.
I was also excited that they got to pin the Usos last week because I might get crucified on Twitter for this, but I think that the bloodline is starting to get stale a little bit. Everything is starting to just become like every week it's the same. So I needed something like with like the Usos, like one of them not like doing what they're supposed to do, or they lose the championships or something like that. Like something to just like make Roman go a little bit more crazy so it can be a little bit more interesting.
WWE writing tends to get stale because, like you said, it's repetitive and it becomes to get predictable, and that's probably about where we are with that because it's like they get in the groove, they get comfortable, they don't need to change things up because it's working. So, yeah I can see then you need something needs to be doing with that. What else we have? What do you think, Carissa? What do you think of the opening segment?
I mean, Roman has his entrance that's like what 10 minutes long, takes up so time of like the show.
Just give the woman another match at that time.
It's good bad guy stuff.
Like,
but he does take away. Does take away. Yeah.
It even like brings me like a flashback to when CJ Perry, the former Lana, was on Talk Is Jericho, and she was talking about her spot with Nia Jax about I think it was her going through the table or some other segment, and I remember
because she was going through a table for like 10 weeks.
Yeah, every week I was like, hey, just put it through a table now.
Yeah, she was like talking about like Roman, I guess him, like he didn't want her to have the same spot that she was gonna have. So he's like, no, don't do that. I'm doing that. Like they gave me a flashback to what she said on the podcast when she got released.
Oh, they do that all the time. Where it's like, oh, you can't do that. That guy's doing that. You can't do that spot tonight. Like, and they assign certain things to people. They'll be like, nobody else can do like the John Cena, punch thing. Like,
I remember that. I remember seeing like the list of things they can and can't say, can and can't do. Like,
what's the thing? So yeah, no. So that segment, then they just did. There was no real transition after that opening segment. They just went to commercial and they came back, and it was like Naomi was in the ring. She didn't even get an entrance on TV.
She did get it. She got an entrance before, but they made her stay in the ring for like 3 minutes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was because I noticed that I didn't even see her entrance because they ended that one segment so kind of weirdly without like much of a transition or like that seems like where you would go to commercial. After the opening segment, and then when they come back, do the match. So that I missed her segment because of that. I missed her entrance. Excuse me. Yeah. So, but that match, what do you think of that? Like, I want this is why I'm really interested in because like women's wrestling.
Yeah.
What do you women think? What do you guys think of how they treated this their women's match tonight?
Carissa, do you want to go? Because I'm gonna spaz.
Yeah. I mean the Shayna Naomi stuff is getting too repetitive, but I know that they're going in a direction that will eventually happen. Sonya's gonna return to the ring full time. I'd say I'd probably see her in January, challenging her to a match or some sort. But I mean, get Naomi a different opponent than just Shayna Baszler. We already know Shayna's on the roster. We already know she's had multiple matches with Naomi. I just don't want to see that. Like, bring somebody else that hasn't faced Naomi, or somebody, that can, beat Naomi or whatever. But, like, I know Sonya's trying to prove a point, but at the same time, don't have the same person you want against your enemy.
I have lots of ideas about this.
Let's
Okay.
hear it.
Okay, first one, I like this gimmick at the beginning. Now it's starting to feel very racial. I feel like it's becoming a lot. Like, if you were targeting maybe more than one person, I feel like, okay, I can understand that. But if you're just gonna target Naomi, that's a lot for me to handle. I think that they need to give Shayna a new gimmick too. If you're gonna make her seem like she's gonna do anything for money, give her Kevin Owens' old prize fighter gimmick, and just build her like that, and that'll make a lot more sense also.
Make her a mercenary type, like just a
Right,
killer, a hired
exactly.
killer or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And Naomi can wrestle her ass off. Okay. She's the only person in my eyes who can take the belt off Charlotte right now. If they can build her for January instead and just blow Sonya off on SmackDown, I don't really care. This feud is going too long for me, really. If you can just give Charlotte and Naomi the match and just let Naomi win and put her in the bloodline, everything can be all good and everything will be forgiven. It's literally right in front of your face. Just do it. There was this one move I wanted to highlight. Naomi did like a rope DDT. I don't know exactly. I think Pat McAfee called like a swinging tombstone or something like that, and it looked insane. Like, she's so creative that, like, she's so misused and underrated, and her championship reigns that she's had are forgettable, and it's really disappointing. But also, this is just a minor thing that I always complain about, but Sonya watched the TV like this.
They make people stand and watch the TV at such weird, and it became, I think Big E's now making jokes out of it, is like how the awkward angles that they make you stand. It's like he's overemphasizing it every week to make it even more like play it up. But yeah, I absolutely hate that. It's like nobody stands and watches the TV like facing away from it, like, and with their head turned to the side. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
But yeah, and what do you think of the restart finish? The false finish there of it, and then the restart. Like,
I didn't.
Was that necessary? Did that feel necessary at all to even do that?
It didn't feel necessary. Like
you could have wrote that match better, right?
You gave her a roll-up win. If you would have gave her a decisive win and restarted, okay, maybe I can like cut you a little slack. You gave her a roll-up. Just give her a roll-up and call it a day. I'm tired. It's been what, like 2 months with this angle, maybe more or so. We need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I honestly, like, when the feud first started, and then when she brought in Shayna, like, I thought Sonya was gonna legitimately wrestle, but
right.
She did it.
I remember being so excited.
She only did like a few punches, a few rights to to her stomach, whatever. But I wish she could have just wrestled her, because I honestly, was upset when she was out due to her personal life, and I just really wanted her back in wrestling. But
Sonya could be a star. Sonya could be a champion. They just need to like get her right. I don't know. She doesn't need to be in management anymore. She can just be a full-time wrestler, in my opinion. I think they're fine with like Adam Pearce. But also at the beginning, when they first did like the 1-minute segments where it was just like something small, just like a little taste, I loved it. It was perfect. It wasn't too much. Now this, like, every week it's something new. It's like a bunch of bullshit, and it's just like, are you burying somebody? It seems like at the beginning I thought they were going to do like a Daniel Bryan thing where like she's going against the Authority and she wins the championship at the end. But now it doesn't really seem like that, because it's just getting further and further.
Yeah. So. I don't know what the end game is with her booking. Like, where are they? I don't know where they're taking this. Her Authority figure. I mean, eventually, like you said, she has to be out of power at some point. But like,
yeah, I think sooner than later. I don't think she's going to wrestle in December. I have a feeling that Sonya might make a surprise return to the Royal Rumble in January.
Yeah, the Rumble's in February this year.
That's something I wish that could have happened. for this year's Royal Rumble for 2021, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's so weird. I don't like that they're doing a pay-per-view on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day.
It's in Atlanta. I actually kind of thought about maybe checking it out because, like I said, it's only a couple hours away, and they don't come around here very often. They don't do. They don't. I mean, if they do, it's it's usually nothing good. So it's. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what the card puts together like.
I go down to Atlanta every now and then. Like my sister lives there. Like I'm probably gonna go down there for the AEW show. But I was like, oh, I want to go to this pay-per-view, but then I saw it was January 1st. I'm like, I'm not going to that. I don't want to spend my New Year's Day with WWE. I can't do that to myself.
Yeah. Well, the thing, I talked about this on another, I don't remember what show I was on, but in Atlanta, New Year's, they do a thing in New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, that whole thing in Atlanta is kind of a big area, a big deal. They'll do they used to do the peach drop. It's like their version of the apple drop down there. Downtown, and then they always have it used to be the Peach Bowl, but now I think it's the Chick-fil-A Bowl there at the Dome, the football games, so college football nights in town. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that 2-day stretch, and so it kind of makes sense to try to capitalize off that, because you're going to have all the football people in town. You're going to have all the people that down there doing the New Year's thing. There's concerts. There's usually like somebody will do like a 2-night concert down there, some huge, jam band or techno band or rave band or something. There's going to be a bunch of stuff. There's always shit happening in Atlanta. So I don't know. It's not horrible to try to capitalize off that. It's weird. It's weird to me. It doesn't make sense to be like, oh, Atlanta, that's where we're going to go with it, and not do like a New York show because like there's obviously more people in New York on New Year's and New Year's Day, but I don't know. What day does that fall on? Is that even a weekend or is it middle of the week? I don't even know.
Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
Because they're starting their Saturday pay-per-views. I'm not sure.
That's right.
They're bringing a pay-per-view to Rhode Island, though, on May 8th. And I'm going to go.
That hadn't happened in a while.
My first pay-per-view. I think it's like 20 years or something like that. Like something crazy.
Yeah. It's probably, I was going to say, they used to probably Providence or something like that back in the old day, like during the Attitude Era and the Nitro WCW Award era when they used to do and see, that's another thing. They don't have to run pay-per-views in those B and C markets anymore like they used to because there's not the competition. And they used to have to do that back then because they don't want to lose those markets to other people, to the competition. So they would do a throwaway, like one of your in between, like you're building to your big 4 pay-per-views in a smaller market just to keep everybody happy all over the place. You would
it's going to be like WrestleMania Backlash. Oh,
it's gonna be something like that. Yeah, you're gonna get that. Or what's the one that? Have we seen the schedule? I don't remember what it was, but it'll be that.
They didn't announce the May 8th one. Like there are certain dates they're just leaving like blank.
Yeah, that'd be like the Great Balls of Fire one or something like that.
No!
They did that one year or something horrible like that. Yeah, you might get that. See here. Like the Atlanta pay-per-view, the only other thing we got right down here is I got the fake Starcade, the 1 year they got in Greensboro that 1 year, or Winston-Salem, wherever it was. It wasn't even on pay-per-view. They just did a network special. So we don't have a lot of stuff in my area. So enjoy it. That's my advice. Just enjoy it. Even though it's not going to be one of your big 4 super pay-per-views, you might get some good matches.
I think I'm going to make the trek up to go to Survivor Series next year. I really want to go. Carmelo shared it. I think he's hinting that he's going to be called up by then. If he's called up by then, I will definitely be there because I love me some Carmelo.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So next year, the Survivor Series. So not this one coming up like 2 weeks, but the one next year.
Yeah, that one's in Boston. So.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah, they did announce that. They announced that when they put that schedule up. They went ahead and announced that date. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they have a few of the months that they didn't announce a pay-per-view, but they announced, I guess, a date. And, Andrew and Sean both said that I think February and October are probably going to be a Saudi show, but I heard.
I don't want the Saudi shows. I don't want those shows. I'm not.
They have. You're stuck with them for what was the deal? How many years was it?
Isn't it like 10 years or something crazy?
It was like 10 years. Yeah, it was either 5. I think it was 10 years. It was 10. Yeah, so we're what, 2 or 3 years in?
Maybe we won't see no more Goldberg. Maybe he's done. Since he had the good match he said that he liked, can you retire now and we can be done?
Yeah, I mean that's what you get with the Saudi shows. You're gonna bring in those old nostalgia pops because that's what they like over there. They want those old guys that they remember from the heyday. I mean, hell, with that first show they requested Yokozuna, I think, if I
I was
remember
literally
correctly.
just thinking about that.
He's been dead for 15 years. It's like, guys, come on, man. But yeah, you're gonna have to just tough those Saudi shows out. I mean, nobody's gonna like them, but they're part of it, man. You have to just deal with it. But yeah, I think I said it's all the same thing. February and October, or March and October, maybe. Since they're not. When's WrestleMania? They move it to
April.
Is it in March or is it in April this year? Next year.
April. It's like April 9, 10, 11, something like that.
They're gonna do 2 nights, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got off topic again. We do this. You're gonna fit in great around here because I am the most ADD host ever. I'm the one that usually tries to bring Dom back in when he's running the show. I'm like, bro, we gotta tighten it up. But no, yeah, we get off topic. It happens. After the Shayna match, I'm gonna try to bring it back. After the Shayna match, when we went backstage again with the Bloodline, another one of those. Don, do we even need to talk about that? Just another segment set up the match.
He low-key buried Raw. I mean, it's excusable because it's like Survivor Series, but like I was not expecting him to say anything like that.
I think that's why, right? We got to start building that tension between the two. So I might as well have the champion of SmackDown talk shit about the Monday night show. So
yeah, the funniest line in this whole promo for me, or segment or whatever, was when the Usos laughed at the Raw thing, and Roman goes, "You think I'm here to pop you?"
Oh yeah, that was good.
I literally was just like laughing. I literally wrote it down. I thought it was so funny.
I love this version of Roman Reigns. It's literally what I.
We didn't even talk about the beginning when he said, "I was on my private island running naked and my wife was loving it."
Mm-hmm. We definitely yada 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 over that opening segment. This is great for Roman. This is what he should have been all along that they never let him do. I like it. I like this cocky.
I forgot about Paul Heyman too, and he was so scared. And his facial expressions are so good right now.
Paul's so good
He's
at
like
selling
fitting
that,
in perfectly.
Right? Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. What do you? I think we're eventually going to have that's going to blow up, right? I mean, we're going to eventually get some Paul Heyman leave the group. You think, or the group going to dissolve? What are we going to do here? What do you think they're going to happen with this bloodline? Is it going to stick together and hold together, or what are we going to have? Is it going to implode? What's going to happen?
I think they're going to implode soon. I know Brock is, quote unquote indefinitely suspended, but he's going to be back for January. And I think time that's when, the faction itself will implode, and then Paul will finally, leave Roman Reigns and join with Brock again, and just be his idol.
But I don't think it's happening that soon. I honestly, words of the Bible, I think Roman is holding the belt until next WrestleMania. Not even this one, the one after that, because they can't get The Rock this time. I don't think. Maybe they can, because they've been promoting him like crazy this whole month. It's Rocky month.
Yeah, but they can't get him now for this month because he's in Australia filming for season 2. So they probably can get him for WrestleMania.
I saw that too. That they backed up.
It might be a
timeline for trying.
If they're gonna do Mania, they want a long build for The Rock. I mean, they're not gonna bring him in like at the Royal Rumble and give him like a 3-month build. They're gonna like John Cena him and like, hey, we want you for a year, like, and try to do that like crazy long feud build, because I think that they would need it. I guess.
I think they would like to have it, but I think they'll take what they can get. If they can't get at that, they'll just be like, oh, if you can come in for a month, that'd be perfect, and we'll just run that heavy month, and we'll put you on 2 shows a week for a month leading up to it if they had to do that. You know? Either way, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see that him come back.
But if it's not The Rock, they missed their opportunities in my mind with who they could have had to take the belt off him. I think it would either been Cesaro or Kevin Owens, and you ran those people so early for no reason. I would have held them out and built them for a Mania match, and then let them take the belt off from him. And then, but
we might still get the Owens one. You never know. I mean, it's looking like he's not happy, but I mean, he teased the whole. I might be here for 3 months, or I might be here for 3 more years. He doesn't really know. They might sell him. They might pitch it, and maybe he is back in that situation to be the Mania program. To be that guy. He could still be that guy. You never know what's going to happen there.
Oh, really. He definitely could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's not here, he will be in AEW then. So.
Oh yeah, you know it. He's one of those you can't miss. Even though there's just so many people, like we talked about before, that like he's out there, you have to take it. You have to sign that guy, even if you're worried about like, well, where am I going to put him? Where's he going to fit into this?
Yep.
You find room.
You figure that out
you
later.
Make room. Yeah. But so we had the Xia Li vignette too, or Zaya. Wait, I can't pronounce things. Xia Li. So was this her call up too, right? Was this her call up vignette? So she had just the promo. You have to watch. Oh, has she? Because I didn't watch before. Tonight,
she got drafted, so she's been like having promos, like vignettes for like what 3 or 4 weeks or so.
Yeah. So ever since the drafts were I guess done.
Yeah, because she got drafted the first night.
Yeah.
Second
round.
That's right.
So.
And
yeah, so
was she the one that was doing the like ninja stuff in NXT? Because was that right? Okay, just making sure I got it.
So you know what that means? They're gonna turn her into a comedy character on the main roster. They're gonna turn her into a stereotype.
Yeah, you're seeing it already. You think they're gonna turn her? They're already showing you the stereotype where they just literally had her just doing stuff with a katana sword and like ninja moves, like in the video. They're already setting up the stereotype before you get there to even say it. They're already giving you getting your feet wet, letting you know what we're gonna do. What they do with every. They do it with every Asian act that they have. It's the same thing always. You know, there's never been anything original really that they've done with.
They made Akira Tozawa a ninja.
What else? Are you shocked? I mean, like what? That's what they do.
Akira Tozawa is one of the greatest junior heavyweights, I think. You know, look at his stuff from Dragon Gate. I mean,
I was gonna say I loved watching him in Dragon Gate. Loved it because. The one WrestleMania I went to was WrestleMania 27. It was in Atlanta, and Dragon Gate USA was around at that time, and they did a run 2 nights in Atlanta before two-day run in Atlanta leading up to WrestleMania, and the night before in North Carolina in Burlington. So they did 3 Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they did a Sunday show. So I got that was my first time seeing him live was then in person, and I was hooked ever since. I was like, this guy's amazing. He's great. So when he got signed, I was so excited. I was like, oh, this will be great. This guy was fantastic. As Dragon Gate works, some of the best stuff that you can get for that style, because Japanese wrestling is totally different than American wrestling. They all have to go through the transition to how to learn and work the American TV product. So, it's different now. He's not the same guy that you got to see in Dragon Gate, and I think everybody should go back and look at that. But my family's from Asia. My whole my great grandfather's from China or Thailand now. So we go to the family reunion and we all go to that side of the family. And it's great. And one of my cousins, he always brings it up. He always talks about it. He's like, they're no Asian wrestlers. I'm like, yeah, I know, man. It's nothing you'll like. Yeah, but he doesn't watch enough to really get into it. But they all get treated the same way. It sucks.
Yeah, I
love her, man. She's great.
They put Kushida and Ikemen Jiro together, just cause.
Yeah, just cause.
They're Jacket Time. That's their name.
Yeah.
Jacket Time.
I wouldn't even know. Yeah. Speaking of, yeah. I mean, WWE, they always, they've been known to be that's the stereotypes are kind of what they do. That's like a thing with wrestling. It's always been a thing with wrestling, not just WWE. It's kind of like, that's kind of what wrestling does, though. It's like you kind of get an animated, exaggerated version of stereotypes, portrayed in characters, and whatever. But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So, like you said, I guess we're all in agreement that they'll probably turn her into just a wasted fucking experience when she gets up here. So, yeah. What happened after that? We got the Ridge Holland. So, was this now? So you've been watching more. Was this his actual TV debut up there, or has he been shown on camera since he got drafted?
So. He had vignettes before.
He had vignettes.
I think it was the premiere episode of the new season of SmackDown when they were showcasing new talent. He was one of them, and he had I think 15 seconds worth of TV time.
Yeah, 2 words.
Okay.
This is the first time he really got to talk.
I think Vince is gonna love that guy. He likes.
I have many questions about him.
Okay.
I wrote 4 questions about him. Why doesn't he have a shirt on? Is he getting Drew McIntyre treatment?
Yeah, I mean, why? I mean, would you wear a shirt if you were that guy? I don't think I would.
Some wrestlers wear shirts in interviews and some don't. So I'm just like, what is
He doesn't have a shirt yet to sell.
Okay, that would
Once
make a
he
lot of
has-
sense too.
Once he has merch to sell at the T-shirt stand, they'll throw a shirt on him for him to peel off at some point. But yeah, that's the only reason I have a shirt on. I'm assuming he doesn't have one to sell.
I thought he was a heel,
Mm-hmm.
but he loves Sheamus right now. Sheamus is his idol.
It's weird.
They're giving that feud a throwback to Trish Stratus and Mickie James.
Yeah, they all idolize.
Definitely.
He's my idol. Yeah. Did you hear Pat McAfee like, all right, here we go? Whenever like you first saw Ridge pop up because they had that NXT thing, so I was like, I liked him like sneak that in on commentary, like a little bit of home cooking there. I like shit that I do. I can't help it too.
And I specifically noticed this one thing. It was a very petty situation, but he was like listing all of like Sheamus' achievements. He's like, I love when he cashed in Money in the Bank, and then I was like, is he gonna talk about the Daniel Bryan like situation at WrestleMania, like him winning the championship? Because he was saying that they were like celebrating and stuff like that, and he completely ignored it. I was like, oh my gosh,
he's not big time enough yet to reference that and get away with like the repercussions from it, like how Daniel Bryan was referenced before a couple weeks back. Yeah, he's not gonna get that leeway to speak on stuff like that they're gonna now is taboo that you don't say. So
yeah.
But I like Ridge Holland. I think he's going to be what Vince likes. He's got the pedigree for it. You know, I mean, he is homegrown talent. You know,
I think we can specifically know that because they didn't take up Pete Dunne with him. If they would have took them up together, we would have been like, okay, he sees them as a tag team, but he has to see something in him specifically for it to be
bigger.
like that. So
he's bigger. Yeah. He's taller. He's stronger, bigger. He's a bigger guy. He's like
bulkier too.
He's a bulkier, bigger guy. He's Vince. That's what I think Vince is really gonna like some Ridge Holland because he's somebody that he can, like I said, he's homegrown, he's not a wrestler. He was rugby? Was it rugby before?
Yeah, it was rugby.
Yes. So he's a rugby star that he turned into a wrestler that he's gonna just turn to teach the WWE way and can mold him into what he wants. He's not somebody that has any experience or views of the business other than just outside, you know. So he's perfect. Vince loves those guys, you know, that don't know better, honestly. So which Braun was one of those, and I'm shocked that Braun is now. There's a lot to that too. We're not going to get into that, but there's a lot behind with him. But he was one of those guys. But that Sheamus, I don't know. I think that'll be a good program. Did her phone die? Did we lose?
Can you hear me still?
I can hear you. Can't see you. But
okay, let me just try to turn the camera off and back on.
Oh, we got the. Oh, I wish I had a nice little picture face for you, but we got that little icon instead.
Hold on, I'm just gonna leave and I'm gonna join again. Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay. All right, we'll do the 2-screen real quick while she's gone for a second. And when she comes back in, we'll add her. See, we run a tight ship around here. Yeah. Let's look at some comments. I hadn't checked the chat out in a few. Say hey to everybody. If anybody's who's these guys still here? Yeah, I want to hear your idea. We got Woods beats Roman next week for the belt. Woods versus Big E at Survivor Series. That'd be that's an interesting fantasy booking. That wouldn't be bad.
I mean,
but I don't think they'd do that.
I think it's obvious because, you know, they're both world champions in their respective brands, and I don't see, you know, Big E losing his title anytime soon.
Yeah, what would they do there? They wouldn't really do belt versus belt. They would just have to do a match that didn't mean anything, and then they're going to devalue one over the other. I don't think they could do that. You can't do that without hurting one show more than the other, you know, or establishing which show you see as your premier A show and B show with that. So yeah, I don't think they could do that right now. But what else we got in the comments here? We have some people. Let's see what we have. Oh, she's back. So we'll add her in and switch it up here to the. Oh, I screwed this up. Fixing it. Bam! There we go.
There we go.
All right, got you back. But yeah, where are we at? Oh, so all right, Sheamus I like the Sheamus Ridge Holland program. I think that might be fun. Like you said, it reminded me very much of Mickey James and was Trish Stratus, right? Yeah, so it'll be fun. We'll see where they go with it.
I think they'll have some decent matches too. They're both like very aggressive, so.
I mean, they're both Europeans, so they are,
they'll enjoy beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
I think what we're all agreeing with here. Yeah, but we're gonna see it.
Are known for. That's what they're known for beating the living crap out of each other. Like,
yeah, we're gonna see it a lot though. You know what I mean? How they do it. We're probably gonna see that match 8 times, and then a couple pay-per-view matches, and then some more. So get used to it. We're gonna see it. So hopefully they have good chemistry and work well together. Because once they go down that road, we're gonna get it a lot.
Yeah.
And then speaking of. So was this the debut of them? Other than I saw the Halloween thing where they pulled the masks off together to the Los Lotharios.
We skipped one thing.
What we skip? Yeah, did I miss something?
Shotzi.
Oh, her promo.
Oh yeah, they had the little highlight package, right?
Yeah, I just read a couple notes for this. I thought she looked like Scarlet. I thought she was wearing like a Scarlet like outfit. Like I feel like they're gonna try to twist her to be like more maniacal. I really liked her outfit though. She had like a new like sort of look because we really only saw her like as like a punk rock, I guess like type superstar. But I think now they're making her more like a diva. The
heel turn.
It's what it is.
It's a heel turn. You gotta change your gear up. She made a heel turn so she can't have that fun, happy kind of connect with the crowd like fun go.
No more Tank.
No more Tank. We're serious now. We're serious and mad.
She said that she lost her tag partner. She lost championship opportunities. Those are both shots at WWE. That's not anything that she did. And
she blamed the universe too, which was fun.
Yeah, which that one doesn't make sense because we literally cheered you. You heard the pop that she got last week when she came out. No one turned on you. It's like when Becky was like, "You people don't support me." People cheer you.
Great writing that they're told. They take away the freedom of letting them speak really on their own organically, and they get these forced promos that don't go with what the reaction that we're getting is, and it's hard to really get behind that for me.
That was one thing I wrote about the next segment, where Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, they have like their little in the box like promo thing, and I thought Humberto sounded like a robot, a straight up robot.
How many times did they practice
personality that? Reading off the script.
They had to work that in the back. They probably filmed. There's no telling how long it took to film that, like before they got it the way that whoever produced it said that's what we want. Because like you said, so robotic. He must have run through that. Oh, I can't even comprehend how many times he probably said that, like little. Word for word, exactly what he had to say, and then, oh no, you didn't. More chest up more next time, and turn this way, and a little bit more with this. It's just so It's just not natural. None of it. Just all their little stuff like that. Just like nobody stands like that. Nobody talks like that. Nobody reacts at certain spots like that. It's just very weird. It's very comic booky at times, but that's what wrestling is supposed to be too. I've had people tell me that don't watch it. Like, so wrestling is just like a comic book come to life. I'm like, that's fucking nailed it, dude. Like, yeah, pretty basically, but
yeah.
I don't know. What do you? Yeah, go ahead.
I just don't even understand why they gave them that name. I had to Google what that word meant.
I did too. What did you pull?
A man who obsessively seduces and or deceives a woman.
That's why they were talking about how handsome they are, I guess, right?
I mean, Angel Garza did have the nickname Lethal Lothario when he debuted.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Which I didn't even realize that was. So I had to Google it. I didn't realize that's what that word was, and I was like, oh shit, Jose Lothario was Shawn Michaels' mentor or whatever, and that was this. I didn't realize that was part of a gimmick, a name for him. I just thought that was his name. I didn't realize it was like a name as a play off something too. So I learned that by Google tonight as well. But yeah, I guess we're just Latin lovers. Is that their whole thing? It's just like we've got machismo. Like they're basically just like some Major Ramon over again.
That's what it is.
That's what we get. That stereotypes. So we led from Xia Li to another stereotype.
I think we should make a counter because I want to know if Ridge Holland is actually like that in real life or if they just think all Europeans are the same because they gave Drew McIntyre the same gimmick. We all like to fight and we're big and strong and we don't give up.
That's Sheamus's gimmick too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's basically Pac's gimmick, but he's not big. He's just like, I like to fight. So I guess it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's a thing over there. I don't know. We should ask the Tea and Tights guys. They're the British podcast we have. Maybe they can give us a little more insight on this because, like, I don't know. I don't follow Brit wrestling as much as I should either. But like, I assume that it's this. Maybe it's like that. It's just a bunch of Sheamuses and Drew McIntyres running around fighting each other over there. I don't know.
That was hilarious.
But yeah, stereotypes. That's exactly what I thought when I saw that put together. I was like, oh.
I saw a report somewhere. I don't remember where, but I think it was like Humberto. He knew he was going to SmackDown because they didn't have any Latinos on the brand.
Yeah, because they moved Ray and Dom to Raw. Did they do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
They always say they want the Latino audience. They're like, well, we need that audience like that. We're gonna get that audience. We're gonna get that audience, and they don't do any. They don't do. I mean, shit. You see what they do? It's terrible. Like, other than Rey Mysterio, like, you have no real home run connection with that demographic. I don't think.
One thing I have, that I think, and I swear WWE should have did. They should have drafted Ray to Raw and Dominic to NXT. It would have solved all of your problems. You can actually let him work.
But they're working long term there, right? So we're building towards the eventual match between the two, and it'll probably be, I assume, Ray's last match, right? You know, where he eventually Dominic wins and he gets the rights to the mask. I think I've heard that that's the plan. Is an eventual match between the two, and then Dominic wins the rights to use the mask. You know, he'll wear, because they originally had a mask for him that he was supposed to come out with, and I think he was going to take it off, kind of like how Lee Moriarty and a bunch of people do, you know. But they didn't want to do that because I think it was too similar to Ray's until, I guess, probably this, where they're going with it. That's the only thing I can see.
I think Sean said this. He did, like, Ray doesn't want the feud to happen. Like, he's been like,
yeah, he doesn't want to,
pushing against it.
But you know, it's WWE. That's what we're gonna do. That's what they do. You know, it's predictable storytelling. So, like I said, it's like, how long until this group implodes? How long before this happens? Because they're not gonna let anything. You know, they're gonna. It's all predictable soap opera storytelling. You know.
Yep.
But yeah, so that match, and then Mansoor and Cesaro. Another, why are they in a tag team? What's the purpose of that? Like, we don't have anything to do with Cesaro, so let's just put him in this.
And he ate the pin.
He did.
He ate the pin.
That poor guy, man.
You could have let. Okay, if you really want to do that match, let Mansoor eat the pin. Cesaro ate the pin. You just had him in a championship feud like 5 months ago.
Yeah, and we already had the Saudi show, so it's not like you need to make Mansoor look strong going into the show. I mean, he just came out of it, and we know that that's what he's there. I mean, honestly, no offense, that's what he's for. He needs to pop that Saudi crowd. So when he comes back over here, there's no real story with him either. So I mean, do something with him.
He's not bad either.
He's not bad. He's
not crazy green. Like, you can put him in a match and he'll be fine. Like,
be fine, yeah. But no real story for him, no real direction, and that is haphazardly slapped together just because it's like, all right, we got to have something here. What do we? And yeah, like you said, why have Cesaro eat that pin? Yeah. Anyway, I wrote down the only note I wrote: Cesaro eats pin. It's the only note. Double team finish, which their finish was kind of cool. I mean, they did well together at the Los Lotharios.
They're cousins. They would want to have some chemistry.
You'd think they would. I mean, this is probably not the first time they've rolled around and wrestled as a tag team.
Angel did say, I don't know which interview it was or where he had said it. He, ever since he signed to WWE, he wanted to team with Humberto. Like, that's what he wanted, but they didn't give it to him right away. They just gave him, go to NXT. You're a Cruiserweight champion. That's it. You go to Raw. You feud with your cousin. Doesn't work out as expected. Years after, there you are. You're teaming with your cousin.
That feud might have been better if they were. But that was during the TVs, right? The Thunderdome, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
a lot of it.
It was the PC era.
So that, I don't think it did it justice. I think that whole feud could have been better with people involved and fans involved instead of just fake piped in TV noise that just disconnects a lot of people, and everything seemed forced there. I don't know. Yeah, didn't get a fair run, but yeah, hopefully. I mean, they had good chemistry in the ring. They work great, but we'll just see if WWE gives them a shot. You know how we got rid of Lucha House Party, so I guess this is the replacement. That's all I got from it. Just I put a team together. Just make a team. It's like what this seems like to me. Putting those two together.
I mean, at least they're pushing them. It seems like
they are getting a push. Yeah, for now.
Yeah, for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. You never know how long that's gonna last, but yeah. So like I said, and then from there we went straight backstage again with. Was this Aaliyah's debut?
Yeah.
Okay, that was cool, but why did they use Jeff Hardy? Was there any reason for that? Can you explain that to me? Somebody that hasn't watched SmackDown, why was Jeff Hardy the vessel to
We know as much as you do.
Okay.
Every thought
Just
that Jeff
sure.
Hardy was going to come and feud with Roman, but it looks like he's Aaliyah's dad now.
Or father figure, or just some kind of I'm here to take care of you, girl. I don't know. It was very weird, like showing her the ropes backstage.
Me and Carisa loved her outfit. Great outfit.
Very, very, very.
I don't know why Sammy wants her to wear pantsuits if he doesn't wear pantsuits himself.
I wrote that down too. I wrote down Sammy gives her advice, pantsuit. I was like, that's good. I like that. I like Sammy's advice. I don't understand his advice. But
he said Stephanie McMahon.
Maybe he's intimidated by her lack of a pantsuit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, why was Sammy involved in that segment too? There was just a bunch of weird stuff involved with that debut. I don't understand that either.
I don't understand it.
I mean, Sammy was all over the place tonight.
Even the stuff that he did with Hit Row, I didn't understand at all.
He had very random and what's the word I'm looking for?
Anytime you say Hit Row, I get mad and I get sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, very disconnected and random Sammy usages tonight. So yeah, we had the Hit Row with their, whatever that was with him. I guess it's just so he could dance and they could get into it, and then I think that was really all that. So
what happened?
That kind of makes more
conspiracy
sense.
Theory gimmick. I wanted the show on the network. That would have been so dope.
The documentary that it was supposed to launch, but never.
They scrapped it.
They still have that footage though.
Yeah. I wonder if them scrapping all that and dropping all that stuff has to do with the fact isn't his contract run up a month before Owens' does? Isn't he up in December too?
He's January-ish.
Isn't he beginning of January? Isn't he end of December, beginning of January, or is he end of January like Owens is?
I have to ask, but
I thought they were a month apart. For some reason, I thought it was Owens is January and Sami Zayn is he's free into December 1st of January.
Yeah.
So I mean that might have something to do with I need to release this big featured documentary we shot on you right before you leave to go somewhere else. But
even with that, they had that documentary from 2020 because I remember that Big E feud when he won the championship. That was around Christmas time or something like that, I think. So December 2020, his contract wouldn't have been up for a year. He could have released that. They're just scared to pull the plug, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. I mean, it could be. I mean, he can't go to Saudi Arabia. He has issues. I mean, that's vocal about that. So, I mean, maybe there's a lot of stuff there that we don't know that factors in with why they give him the short end of the stick and treat him like they have to. I don't know. They seem to be one of those types of places where you do something they don't like and you kind of get shitted on for it on TV. So.
I mean, honestly, I wish he was able to go to Saudi, but he isn't able to because he is.
I wish nobody had to go to Saudi.
He's from Syria, and they have.
That's not
conflict there.
Yeah. That's not something it's above. It's beyond his. I don't know. I don't think they hold him as responsible. I think they were a little irritated about it at first, but I think now that after all the stuff that's happened with it, and some of the people that have been able to just be we're not going back, they can't really get as mad at him for not going if they're not going to get mad at some other people for deciding they're just not going to go either.
Sheena couldn't go either.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Edge said he was not excited about going. He was not too keen.
A lot of people weren't. A lot of them weren't. But they, they get that extra money and they, can't really.
Brock's going to be there. He said, give me my money.
Oh, he's going to take his private plane. He's in and out. He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. And Roman and the Bloodline, they had their plane too.
Which is funny. Everybody had chartered flights this time instead of like last time. So.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, which is interesting because they wouldn't. I remember talking to some of my people that were stuck during all that when they were trying to fly out and get a chartered flight after they got mechanical issued, and they weren't allowed to even get a charter flight out. So it's like, yeah, it's better take care of that yourself so that you can be responsible for what planes you want flying in and out on your own charter. So letting them do it, but yeah, that's just just a shitty, terrible situation nobody really wants to get into, I'm sure. Fucking not doing us any good. So yeah, weird Jeff Hardy. Good for Leah though, right? We got that. What are we gonna get? Did they set up any program with her, or is it she just getting shown the ropes backstage by Jeff Hardy? What her angle is now?
Aaliyah is gonna be a comedy character. They're not gonna take her seriously.
We got Jeff Hardy showing around in pantsuits.
I think they're gonna make her lose.
She's gonna be a jobber.
Yeah, that's what they do when they do call-ups. And the question we had, Amir, I can't pronounce your last name because I don't say names well. Ask if B-Fab was still in the Hit Row thing out, right?
No, they took her part in the song out.
Yeah, they took her part of the song out. Yeah, that's what they were asking. So, yeah, we'll see what they do with Aaliyah though. I was happy she got brought up, but then as soon as it instantly was like, oh, cool, and then it's like, oh, but what's gonna happen? Like, where does
the Robert
this go?
Stone brand is cursed.
Poor guy. Yeah, Cardona. Is it Cardona that said that on Twitter that Robbie E was bad luck or a curse or something like that?
I think so because it was Chelsea Green, Jessica Maya, Frankie Monet. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Yeah, it was somebody else. Who
Aaliyah.
Was it? Aaliyah.
Mercedes Martinez.
And
there you go.
Yeah. I saw her in Atlantic City. She was I actually worked her meet and greet. I was the picture taker for her meet and greet. So she had to sat there and shot the shit and talked while people came up and took pictures. And so it was like we'd be sitting there talking and chatting. Mercedes and I would, and then somebody would come up and I'd pop a picture, and then they would leave, and then we'd go back to talking. And she had. I
want Mercedes to give you chops.
I want that too. I'm gonna try to make it happen. I didn't get a chance to that day because she was just doing the meet and greet, and then I didn't see her afterwards. So like they let me come in and GCW let me in that day. They gave me a pass and just said, hey, come work stuff for us. So they let me in for free just to kind of help them out and do stuff. So I was helping with that. And then by the time I was free to just do whatever, and I wasn't responsible for working anymore, she was gone. She had to go, I think to Comic-Con was going on too, or she might have to go up there. She was just there for that. But yeah, I want Mercedes to give me chops. I'm going to find her. I'll find her at one of these shows. I think she's coming somewhere, or WrestleCade. She'll be at WrestleCade's going to be bad.
Adam Cole, Britt, and Ruby are in Rhode Island as of tomorrow for Comic-Con.
Oh, nice. You should go check that out.
It's $135 for all three of them, a photo op and a meet and greet. I'm gonna try to do it. I'm gonna.
Well, I mean, we'll talk after this. After this show's over about something. I got an idea. We'll discuss that later.
Okay.
Where were we? So yeah, we all fear that Leah's gonna be a comedy act. So yeah, we're afraid on that one. So then from there, did I miss anything? We go straight to the Drew McIntyre Open Challenge, right?
I mean, I already knew that was gonna be Ricochet from before, but I mean, I don't mind Drew doing the open challenges. I mean, it helps him, build up to a potential Universal title, opportunity, which
we all know that's coming.
Because he's never held that title in WWE.
No, yeah, they'll eventually hit him with it.
I don't like his new name. Why is he the SmackDown Warrior? Wasn't Sheamus the Celtic Warrior or something like that. I don't think we need 2.
Yeah, they're unoriginality. We repeat things in
Yep.
WWE. We don't have. I mean, I don't know how many times when they get stuck on a word and then you hear it, or like a phrase, you hear it a lot. So
Yeah.
True.
that's one
I
of those.
like that they gave Ricochet a mic. I was so excited. I wrote they
Right?
gave Pretty Ricky a mic.
And he did great. It sent somebody tweeted me. They're like, or DM me. I don't remember which one it was, but they said, and I laughed. I was like, oh shit. They're like, this is the best Ricochet's been. It sounded on a mic in forever. I fully assume for him to be released next week. I was like, oh shit. I hope
he has
not,
like a long contract too. He's like till 2024.
He
So
had like
if
a
they
5-year
release
deal.
him,
Yeah. He's from the same town as my cousins, Paducah, Kentucky, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Kentucky boy. Oh man,
I love Ricochet. I
do too.
love
He's
him so
fun.
much.
He's so talented.
That match was fun too.
Him so much. Oh my god.
They don't.
It's a crime.
With him. They don't know what to do with him other than just like have good matches and then eat a cool finish like that. Like that was cool. Him taking the Claymore while he was doing the moonsault. That was awesome.
Oh my god, that was a great finish.
The timing of that was great, and he's one of the people you could probably pull that off.
Yeah.
So that was good. But yeah, he definitely looked great, sounded great on the mic. So, and then we had what? We had him in a backstage segment with Mansoor or with Ali, right?
Ali.
That was Ali.
I really thought that they were gonna squash Ricochet with Drew. I had like a strong feeling. I was like, oh my god, they might just squash him and just.
I was afraid of that too. But no, I didn't check. I usually try to make note of the time of matches, like how long certain ones go, so I can see how long they gave to certain things. But I didn't. I was doing terrible with that. I had too much going on. I didn't know it. But it seemed like it was like at least one commercial break.
Yeah, and Drew kind of put him over verbally after, like he was like applauding him, and he's been doing that with like the people he's been facing too. So
yeah, it's like the Drew morality challenge segments where he's just like, you're a worthy competitor. I approve of you. But yeah, so that was we had the New Day backstage with Kayla. That was after the Open Challenge, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Anything out of that?
Kofi Kingston had New Day gloves on. He had like New Day night gloves on.
Ooh,
they were like white with like the New Day logo. They were super royalty like.
Yeah. I remember the only thing I wanted to talk about from the Saudi Arabia show was the New Day's gear, and everybody. I was on the distraction. They were like, "Cass, like, there's more to talk about." That's it. I just want to talk about their gear from the gear they had, and about that. So yeah, I'm all about their gear. Their gear is always usually so well themed and tied in, and there's usually some kind of little Easter egg to look for or whatever too. Yep. So I have to go back and watch it again. I didn't pay enough attention to it. But yeah, was there there's anything out of that segment, that little interview? Was it just setting up the main event again? That's pretty much all that was, right?
Yeah.
Just a build up.
Yeah, and then we led right into Happy Talk. What do you ladies think of Happy Talk?
I hate it.
It
bring back bum ass Baron Corbin.
It wastes a lot of time of the SmackDown. Like, we don't need this segment. We don't need that talk show.
Why do they feel like we have to always have one talk show segment going on at all times?
I just want the Lone Wolf back.
He was. I don't know if you can see, where is it at? Like right here. He's in the main event. Lone Wolf Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger against Finn Balor and Austin Aries in my little poster here when my boys, the Revival, were there, and I went to watch him in South Carolina wrestle. Yeah, Corbin was fun back then. He had hair, kind of. He's a good heel. I miss Baron Corbin. Although...
Why did he have to get money? Just leave him broke. That was so entertaining when he was like broke, stealing Biggie's like briefcase. Like all of that stuff was entertaining. Now you're just telling corny jokes. I think
we're gonna get some roller coasters, right? He's happy and he's gonna be sad again, right? That's where we eventually have to take this. He can't be Happy Corbin forever. He'll go somewhere and be something else. But Madcap Riddick Moss, right? Like, hey, good for him, because that guy stuck in developmental forever. Brought up, nothing happened, sent back down. Raw Underground, nothing that came from that, sent back down. Yeah, I mean, so good for him though. He's been around forever.
He's
I
not
think
bad
he's
in
even
the
on
ring
this
either.
card.
He's
No,
talented.
he's on this card. He wrestled on this show behind me. We've got in the undercard as the second match. The opening match was No Way Jose versus Wesley Blake, and then after that it was Clark versus Riddick Moss. We had Velveteen Dream versus Riddick Moss. So yeah, he's been around forever.
Velveteen. Oh my God. 3 of those people aren't here anymore.
Oh, a lot of them aren't here. If I look at this, hold on this show, Jose Wesley Blake opened the show. Velveteen Dream, Riddick Moss, Carmella, Peyton Royce, Alex Riley versus Elias Sampson. Not just Elias, he's Elias Sampson when he was the Drifter.
You just said Alex Riley too.
This is when they had NXT in 2016. Had him trying to do shit again, and it just So he was down there in 2016, and then we also had for the NXT tag titles, American Alpha defending their belts against the Revival. So we had Chad Gable and Jason Jordan against Cash and Dax.
They're like the biggest what if tag team for me. Like I know they had success, but like Jason Jordan, oh my God.
Oh, poor guy. If he hadn't gotten injured. And what would Chad Gable too, man. Poor guy, dude. He would have
also
what his career could have been if his tag partner hadn't been injured, you know?
And if they did the right thing with the Kurt Angle storyline and just made it Chad Gable.
Yeah. But now we're going to get Gable Stevenson instead, so we're going to have another shot at it.
You know who I really miss in the ring that has been out for years now?
Who?
TJ.
Who?
Tyson Kidd.
Oh man, yeah. He's doing such a good job producing. He's not going to be.
Yeah.
They're not going to. He pretty much puts all your women's matches together, right? That's pretty much his job is to handle all your women's division
remember.
stuff.
I'm not sure. I think Fightful had taken it from like an interview or something. He had asked Vince if he could be in the Royal Rumble for this year, I believe, and he said no.
Yeah, they're not going to do it. They're not going to risk him getting hurt. That's kind of how they are with people. I would like to see Paige come back, but I don't know if they'll ever allow her to.
Paige is trying to do all that she can.
She's going to lobby. She lobbies to come back, and like I said, I get at least 2 or 3 times a year get all these little people like, oh, I'm hearing some Paige talk. I'm like, man, I think she's always the one starting that Paige talk, honestly, just to try to like see if you can get some buzz about it and maybe get them to like pull the trigger on it. But yeah. That's not who they're going to do it. I think Edge was lucky. It took, 7 years before they finally let him come back. And then if they're not going to let Christian wrestle, like, with his injuries and stuff, they're not going to let, Daniel, like they did with Daniel Bryan, Danielson, they didn't let him either. It's just.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think the only way Paige would happen is if, I don't suggest you do this, but if she left WWE and somebody else would clear her.
Yeah. But you never know with that. But yeah, there's so like that. Looking at that card on my shoulder, like I got Asuka versus Eva Marie on there as well. We've got Shinsuke versus Manny Andrade when he was going by that before he was Andrade Cien Almost. This when he was still Manny Andrade.
Wow.
Then we got a tag match for the main event was Finn Balor and Austin Aries versus Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger. So yeah, like. It's easier to see how many people are still with WWE. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people on that entire card still have jobs with the company. So, and that's just been 5 years.
NXT is developmental for somewhere else now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. But so you're not a fan of Happy Talk, Riddick Moss. Yeah. All right. I don't know. I don't like TV talk. I don't like any of that. I never liked WWE talk show segments. I didn't like them. This just they're pointless and dumb. You know what you're going to get. It's just setting up a fight segment. So it's just. I
kind of like the Viking Raiders here because we don't hear them talk much. So I kind of just assume that like they couldn't talk, but they're not bad at all. Like, they can hold their own.
War Machine used to speak a lot. Yeah, like that's one of the things. Like before they came up here as the Viking Raiders and got given the Viking gimmick, they used to actually speak.
Yeah.
But I guess Vikings aren't allowed to speak because you have to have that like kind of.
Do you remember
delivery as well? I guess.
Go back to their time in Ring of Honor when they were the War Machine,
Yeah.
Rowe and Hanson. I mean, when I believe they had a feud with Shane Taylor and Keith Lee around that time, and what's his name? Eric Rowe. He can talk on the mic. I mean, I saw his work in Ring of Honor. He can work on mic like anybody.
Raymond Rowe's great. Yeah. So that was their debut too, right? Viking Raiders. That was the first time that we got them on TV.
Yeah, on SmackDown. Right? Yeah, I vividly remember them doing the "everything you can do, I can do better" thing with the Street Profits at the beginning of the pandemic, and I literally can't think of them the same since.
Yeah, and that's so the comedy thing. Like if you put it on, like how do you have them work a comedy gimmick like that for so long, and then like here we are back to like. We're gonna forget about all that. Like that's just how WWE is. Yeah. So yeah, then we had the backstage with Ricochet and Ali. So I kind of jumped about that, but yeah. So I guess now we're gonna have Ali try to have Ricochet be his tag partner.
I think they're just gonna feud. Honestly,
they're gonna feud, but
Ricky dissed him.
Yeah. They'll be good matches, I guess.
Yeah, I mean their feud on main event was really good. I'm excited for them to be able to like move it to the main roster now.
Yeah, because nobody saw it, honestly. Like nobody watched nobody watched the main event.
No, because I mean, for those that have Peacock, it is delayed a month behind, I believe, and then Hulu, everything's on time.
Yeah, so nope. I didn't even know that it was still on Hulu because I don't even watch main event.
They have that deal until like I think either the end of like 2022 or something like that, and they're trying to. Because they also have that Raw and SmackDown the day after program with them, and they want more money for that now, so they're gonna
on Hulu
do that.
And they edit it, they chop it up. It's like an hour and a half instead of 3 or something.
What we got live.
Oh, is it? No. They used to edit out some shit. I don't know if they still do, but so we go from Happy Talk backstage, then we get another Hit Row segment with Sammy, right?
No, I think
after the fight. Oh wait. Did I? Oh no! Wait, no, wait. Did I?
No.
Yeah.
We got the match first, and then we got the Hit Row segment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had the Madcap versus Viking Rules match, or Viking Raiders match, and the Viking Raiders won that. Correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we expected. I definitely didn't expect Madcap and Happy to take to go over that one.
When Pat said, "Oh, this is a big time win," you got a count out, dude.
How is it a big time win too? It's over Happy Corbin and Madcap. That's not that big time of a win, but they're trying. They're trying to make it feel important to everybody, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a throwaway match. But I guess it's just welcome. I think the point of that was to make the Viking Raiders look strong on their debut.
Yeah.
So, but then we get the backstage segment with Sammy and Hit Row backstage. I don't. For some reason, I don't remember anything. I didn't write any notes. So what happened on that segment? That's all I wrote. So
okay. So Sammy sang the Hit Row hook. And then basically he was just telling him, "You guys don't know how to make an entrance or whatever." And he was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna show you." I guess like Top Dollar was trying to instigate and try to get them to show. Sammy to show Top Dollar and the rest of Hit Row how to make an entrance or whatever. So when we come back from break, Sammy's dancing to make his entrance. And yeah, at this point I just got mad that they took B-Fab off the song. Like all of my notes are me being mad about B-Fab. Because Pat McAfee made a comment before they went to break, and he said this is gonna be fabulous.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, that was intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of dirty. That's kind of dirty to do that. That sucks. Oh man, so I'm getting sent some stuff. Ooh, I'm gonna have to read up on this. Some more speaking out things.
Oh, I just saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, about Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't read the whole thing because the letters are too small, so I had to read it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, that's my buddy. I don't want to. I was looking at that later. Yeah, that's one of my buddies, so I'm gonna have to check out and see what's up with there. That sucks. That that's one thing that really sucked about that whole speaking out thing. It's like, oh, these are people that I was friends with. A lot of these people. It's like, damn,
Right.
my friends were kind of shitty. But I'll get into that later. But anyway, yeah. So I guess, like we said, so the whole purpose of Sami Zayn tonight was just to do his dance moves and have Hit Row do the little diss on him, and I guess that was their introduction to the SmackDown, was just to use.
No, they had a match last week or the week before against like some jobbers or something. The week before.
Well, I feel like since they got rid of part of the group, that this was kind of like a repackaging, re-debut kind of thing too, because they kind of like a representation or whatever of them is kind of how I was thinking of, like that's how I viewed this, as whatever. Like you said, I remember seeing they had something before, but like when you get rid of part of the group, you change the music and.
Okay, not to like disrespect anybody from Hit Row, but if you were gonna release somebody or separate somebody from Hit Row, I would least expect it to be B-Fab, because Ashanti the Adonis, he's amazing, but he doesn't contribute as much as B-Fab did before. So I'm kind of confused as why you would take an integral part of the group that you claimed to be an integral part of the group that would lead from the forefront on her WWE page, her superstar page.
Yeah, I don't know. There's got to be something to it. You know what I mean? That we don't know yet, that they had for reasons, but yeah, it sucks. And I don't know. I think it definitely affects the group already. Like it's not the same without that part of it there. But yeah, I guess watching Sami throughout the night, I think that was the only real reason for him to be part of them throughout the night to do this, was just so to Sami do the dance and then have them talk shit and then send them out, and that was it. Like I don't see any other real reason for having him lead up to this other than just.
I like when Sami dances, though. I think it's really
love
fun.
it. I think it's great. He dances like I do. It's fantastic.
Sami and Seth
white guy shit
dance
ever.
the same way.
Yeah. And it's all white guys with beards. That's all we got. Shoulders and arms. Yeah, that's all we can do.
I literally wrote, Sami's like the one white person at the party getting hyped up by all the black people. That's literally what was happening. Like they were like, "Go Sami, go Sam." I was like, this is not real. Like it was hilarious to me.
Yeah. But no, I wouldn't mind seeing more with Sami and them. They had good chemistry. Sami's got good chemistry with everybody. He's funny.
Right.
And they fed off each other well. You know what I mean? It was a weird pairing. I didn't really make sense with it, but now I'm kind of like looking forward to seeing more of it, just because of Sami's dancing and them, the way they handled it. I think it's good. I think it was a good little segment. It doesn't really. It seemed kind of awkward and forced, like at first, because it didn't really seem like there was any reason for him to be part of it. But now that it happened, I think
it's harmless too. It's not too like. B-Fab is harmful. This segment was harmless.
Yeah. And you had Sami kind of doing his thing all over the place tonight too. So he was in more places. Like I said, he showed up with Aaliyah, showed up here. So I mean, but yeah. And then so after that though, we went straight back to once Hit Row sent Sami going. Then did we just cut to a commercial and then go backstage, or how did we do it? Was it straight backstage to the Bloodline before the main event, right?
I think it was to backstage, and then after that we went to
then we went to a commercial. Yeah. So yeah, another segment backstage and talking each other up. Roman, did you have any notes on it? I mean, it was good. I liked it. It served its purpose.
Yeah, I didn't really write. All he really said was, "Do I have to handle everything?"
Yeah,
and that was the only real.
Served its purpose. Let you know what's coming up next. Establish the pecking order of the group. More, doubt of whether or not they're going to be able to live up to Roman's expectations of what the group is what he requires of the group. So, served its purpose. And we cut to the match. What did you think of the match?
I think Woods really tried to show out here. I feel like this is ever since like he's become king of the ring, like he's like, okay, now I really need to like show what I got because they gave me this opportunity. I need to like make the most of it. He had that insane leg drop. Like the high flying leg drop. He was so high in the air. It was insane. But I don't like their 3D graphics because the Usos had like a sun when they came out. Like, you know those VR, AR, whatever graphics that they get? Like Becky has one too. I don't like them. They're like ugly and they make my head hurt. But one thing I did note is that the WWE is going to Norfolk, Virginia next week. The week of Full Gear, which I think is interesting. Because isn't AEW going there the week after?
Yeah, that's going to be the Dynamite after Full Gear. We get, obviously, Hangman coming with the title in Virginia. That's what we're going to get. So, they're running. They've done this a couple times now. They're running back to back.
And Long Island, too. They're doing UBS Arena back to back.
I don't know. We'll see what's up with that.
I don't think they're going to do too well in Long Island because MJF is going to be there. And MJF is going to have the time of his life.
I love MJF. He's great.
I do too.
We'll get into that. We haven't even gotten to fucking Rampage yet, but let's do this main event justice though. You liked his moves. We liked Xavier's thing here. What'd you think of how it ended with him having to bend the knee? I knew that wasn't gonna. I knew that's where we're going with that. Of course, we're not going to see that finish. We're gonna have it interrupted, and now we get to carry that over into next week.
I'm just confused what they're going to do for Survivor Series because, okay, you claim it's brand warfare. You just put the New Day on to SmackDown when it would have made complete sense to just leave them on Raw if you want to do the Survivor Series match like you want to.
Yeah, I can't really give any insight as to why they do that. It doesn't make any sense, like you said, at all. None of it does. It's just the Survivor Series is just a fucking... It's not. It's just a Survivor Series by name and not really by gimmick anymore. So it's just like, this is our big November pay-per-view. It's always been the Survivor Series, so it's going to stay the Survivor Series, even though we're not going to do Survivor Series shit with it. Really, we're going to do it because we have to, not because we can use it for storytelling purposes. But yeah, like you said, we got that in 2 weeks, and I don't think we have any matches. Do we have anything?
No, last year they did. Survivor Series qualifying matches with the women, at least. I remember them doing that. I thought they were at least going to do something small like that, but I guess not. Looks like they're just going to throw them in the matches.
I think similar to what they kind of did, or they did like last year. I think Adam Pearce or Sonya Deville, whoever we know, will come out and they'd announce, who's on Team Raw, who's on Team SmackDown. And all that. I don't think they're going to do qualifying matches at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so either.
It's like I said, it's a throwaway. Just again, it's not even a tool to tell a story anymore. It's just a name. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, SmackDown. It was what it was. It was fun. But I look forward to Rampage, and I was looking forward to talk about this. So what do you guys have? We started out right out the gate. We get Danielson and Bowens right off the gate. That's how we do it. We do that. We get Danielson or Punk first match usually every Rampage, I think.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting way to do it, because usually you put your big name at the end, but they always put.
I mean, Cole was a big enough name to anchor a Rampage, though.
He was, and that's different than usual. But they definitely throw their heavy hitter out right away. And it's probably because it's so late at night that they know that, if you're going to get somebody that they're going to watch it, they're going to watch the early part instead of trying to.
Exactly.
What you probably have more tuning in to watch it early than you might get hang around that last hour to watch it at the end. So, I mean, I don't know if you're trying to just nail the to get it while you can. So I get that. But yeah, another Bryan Danielson banger with Anthony Bowens.
Yeah. I love that Ricky Starks was on commentary.
He's going to be on commentary from now on Rampage.
He's my future world champion. Like, if I could pick one person right now from AEW, he is my future world champion. I love Ricky Starks. I was at AEW Boston. I was the only one that popped when he had an entrance. I was screaming for him. I love Ricky Starks.
He's got charisma. He's perfect on the mic. He's fantastic, man. Everything ties in. The look, everything he does, it's all put together, pieced together well. Ricky Starks, I agree with you. He's definitely future world champion material if given the chance to show what he can do. Yeah, I think
He
it'd be
can
good.
go too. He can put on
Yeah.
some really good matches.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
super
man.
talented.
He's the person that you took one match throwaway like a Cody Open challenge and got a contract out of it. He did so good. So yeah, like he's and
He needs to get away from Brian Cage, please.
I think that's what they're all doing. I think that's the point with that is they're all getting away from Brian Cage for some reason. He doesn't have much charisma, but he's
Brian Cage doesn't have much upside right now. His wife is a lot.
Yeah, she is. Somebody asked me who I thought might be the first AEW person to jump ship to WWE when their contract's up, and I can see Brian Cage being that guy.
Me too.
You know,
I mean,
he's older though. I don't know.
He is.
Wasn't he in W? No, he was in FCW, I think.
A long time ago. Yeah, he was in developmental years ago before he ended up. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what's up with Cage. But yeah, Ricky Starks on commentary. He puts everybody over well. He's really good on commentary. Is not like using it as a platform to put himself over and make it about him. He does it well with just using his personality, putting everybody else over with the show, and getting himself over at the same time just by being naturally himself. It's so well done. It's I like having him on commentary. And but the opening match, what do you think of Caster's rap in that shot he made?
Oh my God, I was so happy when he made that shot, because this is stuff that you can only do when it's live. If it was like a pre-recorded, like after Dynamite thing, he wouldn't have been able to do that, because that wouldn't have happened yet for him to like be able to make that little comment. And Bryan Danielson was the perfect person for him to do it to as well, and he set it up perfectly. But I think Bowens was like so excited to be in this match, like he probably wasn't even really like listening. He was just like, I'm about to go fight Bryan Danielson. Like I bet he was like so excited.
And probably Bryan Danielson was probably just as excited about wrestling Anthony Bowens too, which is what I love about the situation that he's in right now and how much fun he's having. And he's like, I want to just go balls to the wall every fucking week with every matchup possible. And it's all these it was a good match, man. And Bowens good singles too. Like being in tag with the Acclaimed, he's getting pigeonholed in that tag group thing, but he can go to singles, man. Like it's great. I like it. Really good. I liked his gear. He had that nice purple, pink, and black. Throw some Canadian love up there too. It looked good. And then of course we're gonna have Danielson win because that's where we're gonna go. But the rap I think was the high point of that. I loved it. I loved that shot. That was just so good. At first I had to stop and think. I was like, wait, who is his father-in-law?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit! I was like, that's right. And I had to it took me a second to process it and to recall and remember what that was. And that's one good thing about Caster's raps too, is like he says stuff a lot of times where I'm like, oh wait, what does that really mean? Let me go fucking figure this out again. I have to go back and look. So yeah, that live mic with him is fun.
I wonder if that's his line or if Tony fed him that.
Oh, that's his line.
His line all the way.
All that stuff is his line. Yeah. All that's him, and then he probably gets okayed. You know what I mean? Like he'll look at it.
Oh,
yeah,
Tony would definitely okay that. Tony.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course, go for it.
Oh yeah. That was 100% Max. I wanted to go see him, I wanted to see Caster in concert when I was in Chicago, but I didn't go. I missed opportunity. I actually, in my fault, I ate too much food. I ordered some food in the afternoon, some DoorDash, ate food, took a food nap, woke up, and it was either like, well, I got to go right now or not. And I didn't go. But yeah. So then what did we have after that? We had Andrade and FTR's interview with MJF. MJF talking about the payoff and all that good stuff. What did you think of
that? I think it's a little okay. I like that they did this, but I was confused. I was like, are they actually going to put Andrade in the Pinnacle? Because that's what it kind of seemed like, because they were just like doing like dirty work, and I guess they were like he was a part of the Pinnacle, but he was giving them money or something like that. So I guess he's just like paying them off. Which
he's just paying them off. I think what they're going with here is that the Pinnacle will do anything for money. If they're hired guns. They're that hired gun. Like, hey, we'll do your dirty work. Just give us some money. We'll work out a deal. They had to do something for Andrade. He did something for them. There was Andrade doing the whole like his thing is like I'll pay somebody to take out what I need to do too.
Right.
Don't have to do it all myself. That I'm kind of like it's like MJF. I'm better than you. Things like I don't need to do that. I'll just pay you to do it and get what I need out of it. So I like it. And
we're
shows,
getting Dax versus Pac on Dynamite.
We are. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun.
I wrote, let's go. Def gonna, and I drew humps.
That match is gonna hump. You're right. It's good too because it's so their styles are so different that I think they're gonna complement each other very, very well. It's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be a real fun one. I'm so biased with my FTR fandom as well. I don't even try to hide it. Obviously, Cash is my boy. Dax lives in Asheville. That's where I'm from. That's it. So I'm always on their side regardless of what it is. So give me more of that all day. But so we went right from there. Then we came to CM Punk out in the ring, and
I love this so much.
I was setting it up for this. You had a whole page of notes. So I just want to hear what you two think about this. So let's go.
I'll start. I love like how CM Punk's part and Eddie's part were both basically unscripted, and they just had it right there, and they had a legitimate explain like he had a reason behind what happened 15 years ago and all that stuff. I mean, I absolutely loved it, but the thing I popped for the most was Eddie Kingston walking into the ring with the Timbs on. I'm like, yes, because that's a New York thing. We wear our Timbs during the fall and the winter and all that stuff. So it's like I popped for that.
It's part of the universe.
And he
do what?
He laced them correctly.
Oh, he did too. Yeah,
like you gotta barely lace them.
Yeah, you don't tie those things up. You gotta leave them loose, tongue hanging.
This is my full page of notes on how much I love Eddie Kingston.
Let's hear it.
My first thing was I always love Eddie's theme, and I wrote that I loved his outfit too. He looked very much like Eddie Kingston.
Mm-hmm. He could have been more Eddie Kingston if he tried, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He is like the definition of intimidating to me. Like if you see that man walking down the street and you owe him some money, I would be scared to death. Oh my God. But he was very aggressive, like off the bat. I remember him saying, "Answer me when I'm talking to you," and Punk was like, "Whoa," because he's never like really had anybody like kind of like step to him like that and be like that forward and that aggressive with him.
Yeah.
And I like that Eddie explained that he thought that he had COVID, because I feel like a lot of us aren't even really able to kind of figure that out. Like nobody really would have thought that Eddie thought that he had COVID or that COVID was even like a possibility. We all just thought, right.
They don't like to bring that up really. So I was kind of like, oh, they acknowledge that because like there's been other people that have been missing off TV for 2 weeks, and you're like, oh, why were they not there? And then I know why they weren't there. It's because they had COVID, but they're not going to tell you about that at all. Mm-hmm. So yeah, then the fact that they actually like acknowledged it and like, yeah, I wasn't here because I thought I had COVID was another one of those like, oh shit, all right, we're gonna get real with it here. It's the realness of the promo. You know what I mean? Like the unscripted, right. Like it seems legit and real because he referenced legit and real shit that we all know is actually happening. So yeah.
Like he mentioned, the people who he looked up to on the independent scene, like those were like the pillars of, of Ring of Honor, Joe, Red, Homicide, all of them. Or pillars.
He even included Punk also.
Yeah, and Punk as well. They're all pillars of Ring of Honor.
I swear, I thought Punk was going to get booed after this promo because of the way he was like, he literally said that every judge Eddie Kingston and he blames Eddie for falling short. I was like, oh my God, that's so like actually mean.
Like Kate pointed out here in our chat, and I agree. One of my favorite things that Punk said was that Eddie was best suited for dark and elevation. That was quick, and that was a very good zing and burn right there. But they fed off each other so well. That's their back and forth there. What else you got in your notes? Let's hear it. I want to hear all your notes. I love that you took a page of notes on just the promo alone.
Another thing that okay, this has been something I have been thinking about for a long time, but this is finally starting to like be solidified for me. I think they're doing a Page-like arc for Eddie Kingston. He hasn't won the world title. He's been so close, but hasn't done it yet. I think he's gonna win the title probably like a year or two, like another like long-term title winner. But I think they're definitely gonna give him the big one eventually, and all of this is gonna like tie back into like he's gonna be like, I remember when this happened and this happened and this happened, and I didn't get to win the title or whatever, and he's gonna be able to point it back to this now.
He could even be like down the road, take the Punk title off Punk, referencing this moment in this match, being like, I didn't care about beating. I told you then I didn't care about winning or losing. I just wanted to fight you and kick your ass, but this time I do, because it's about something. There's a lot of storytelling they can do here.
Right.
It's great.
And then he said that Eddie's a better fit for Dark or Elevation. Eddie is barely on Dark or Elevation. He's on it like once every 2 months, if I'm being real, because I watch Dark Elevation on my free time.
Yeah. It was just a good burn. It was just a good like saying you're not in my league, pal, kind of burn. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I thought it was hilarious when Eddie was like, fight me, fight me, fight me, like continuously. It reminded me of like when Bianca was on I think it was like the contract signing, and she was like, sign it, sign it, sign it. Like those like real moments that show like actual aggression are what I actually look forward to. But I wouldn't have let them touch. I wouldn't have let them brawl. I would have just let them do face to face, and then like refs come out and break them up or something like that. But I see why they did it. It makes sense. I just would have let the suspense build more, like how they didn't let John and Roman touch. I would have did something like that.
Yeah, and how like Taz and Sabu didn't touch for like a year before their match at Barely Legal, whatever that pay-per-view was. So yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it, but they just teased it. Like they barely got it. He had Punk showing all his emotion, wanting to get at Eddie, and it's something we hadn't seen really from him yet. So like he got to see that, and then I mean Punk was screaming, "I'm gonna fucking kill you!" Like I loved seeing that. That's like oh shit, that feels real. I like it. And it wasn't overly done. The pull apart and the like separate. Which I love those in wrestling. That's such a fun thing. I like being in the back too, with like at a show working. Like I would do managing and stuff, and used to be hang out when they talk about a pull apart, because everybody just wants to get involved in the pull apart. They love it. Like, oh yeah, it's fun. This guy there, and so that's classic wrestling shit. I'm gonna look. I just want to
say I love you, Kate. Have a good night.
Good night, Kate. We love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Kate. I'll text you in the morning. But I love a good pull apart. So it's always fun.
I love that they had Ruby Soho in the one with Eddie Kingston, like the original like promo that started it all, because you normally don't see women in those like pull aparts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ruby Soho, Sean Dean, and JT.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I think having her be in there too, it made it kind of feel a little bit more real, because you get to she's New York too, right? So it's like New York sticking with New York. Her and Eddie, they're friends.
She's from Indiana.
Indiana, but okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But I mean they got a rapport. They're friends, so you get that, because they did they did a bunch of indie stuff together too. So you got that whole like, it's not just random security guards out there, separating and getting involved. It's a little bit more. It makes it a little bit more personal. So. Love a good pull apart, and I thought they did it well. Even though, like you said, they didn't keep them apart, but they didn't let them like really get at it and oversaturate It did well. It teased it well, and I'm so looking forward to that match at Full Gear now. Like that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
that's going to be a lot of fun.
I have loved Eddie Kingston's pay-per-view matches. Like the one with Miro at All Out was like I think it was the match I was actually looking forward to the most going into it. I love Miro and I love Eddie.
I think the one that I loved the most from him was Full Gear of last year with Moxley. Yeah. When he had the Misawa inspired gear in that match. Amazing.
Yeah, he talked about that. He's like I main evented Full Gear, because Eddie brought that up when when Punk said something about him being suited for Dark or Dark Elevation. He was like, I main evented Full Gear, brother. But yeah, that was.
I would have liked
Eddie always delivers.
Yeah, I would have liked for Eddie. He could have got more personal. I feel like both of them could have got more personal with each other. because I feel
I
like
think we're
they
gonna
have
get
that
to that next
rapport.
week. I think we'll get to that next week. See, this week set it up, like, all right, you can tell there's some shit there, and then next week, right before, like the Dynamite and the Rampage, leading into that pay per view, I think we're really gonna see him get chippy, and that's when it gets personal, and that's when we really are gonna get like those people that were not quite invested. I think we'll get them. I think they'll hook them on that. So I think that's when we really tie in. But yeah, I love that whole segment, that whole the middle. That was the middle of the show. It was like that was such a main, and that got a lot of time.
And it's not like every promo I can take a page of notes on. Like, not every promo is like a master class in how to deliver a promo like that was.
That's what Eddie Kingston does, right?
You're right.
Like, I mean, that's you literally, like, I don't think you could have made that statement about anybody else probably except for an Eddie Kingston promo.
Yep.
Yeah. And and then we went from there. What do you think about this Christian Jurassic Express challenge for the Super Click at Full Gear? Where we stand with this story arc?
I think this is the last match. Because it was dragging a little bit because Cage had to go do the Impact stuff with Alexander. But I think I wasn't even expecting them to add a stipulation. I thought it was just going to be like a trios match or something like that again. But I think the Falls Count Anywhere is intriguing. They'll have a lot more stuff that they'll be able to do.
We're gonna get high spots. I guess the point of that is to, like, how are we going to get them to do a dive off the stage, or how are we going to get somebody to dive off the balcony or whatever?
High spots. I love spots. Spots.
Yeah, when done and worked in well without just being overly, pointless and overly done.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be good too, because you're going to have, I think Jungle Boy's going to do something, and of course the Bucks will do something crazy. Like, that's what they always do.
Jungle Boy is turning into a jungle man. His beard is growing out now.
He's trying. I'll talk to him next week. I'll try to give him some pointers. He's a good guy. I love hanging out when we're around. Sometimes when he's around, he's fun to talk to. He's very soft spoken and quiet, but once you get him talking, he's fun, man. I like that guy a lot. So yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun, and good for him, man. Good for them getting to work a program with Bucks and Cole, right?
Yeah, I thought this match was just going to be Cage and Cole. That was what was on the little thing that they had, but
the early rundown that he had pre-worked card or whatever that he had. Yeah.
But I like this more, actually. I think so.
Save that match for later
on the card.
Yeah, you can save that match for later too. You know what I mean? This is probably going to be your gateway to getting to that too. You know what I mean? You can have everybody else kind of settle their things, then you can take the program out and go with that and still stretch it too. We can still get that match even though we're not getting it here.
Yep.
But that'll be fun, and it's something that I'm more interested in the match now. They said it's Falls Count Anywhere. I do think that, because before just another trios match, I would have been like, that might, I like everybody involved for the most part. Not going to take this opportunity to talk about the one I don't have that group, but I would have definitely, probably use that as a moment to be like, I run to the bathroom or go see if the drink line's okay right now. And then I still get most of the match. But now that it's Falls Count Anywhere, I'm like, all right, can't really leave because I'm going to miss something somewhere because there's going to be shit happening all over the place. We got 6 guys all over the arena. I'm going to be looking at the screens. I'm going to be trying to find it in the crowd. So yeah, I'm definitely now more likely to sit through that and be invested in that match because of that stipulation. But then next we got, all right, here's one for you. We got the TBS tournament first round. We got Bunny and Red Velvet. What do we think of this? Where we're going with this? What's your thoughts on the tournament?
On the tournament or this match in general?
Both. The tournament, the match, what we're doing here. Let's just lump it all in.
Okay. I like the tournament so far. I just wish it wasn't meant for Jade so clear-cutly. I wish that there was like more mystery to who would win. It just seems like they're going through the motions to get to Jade having that belt for me.
And yeah, I see that, but also I have faith in the AEW doing things that even though you think it's expected and you feel like you're getting there, they always seem to kind of keep you guessing and surprised sometimes. So even though it seems like we might that's where we're going we might get her in the main event, but then we might still have somebody else that, upsets her, beats her for it. And then it's now like her that like it was like she's got that whole like that was my destiny. That's what was for me. And now she's got a little bit more drive to being like, to the chase, you know what I mean? Instead of it just being like she's fed it and it's given to her. Like now it's like, all right, maybe get invested in her chase. But
I'm just trying to think of who's left for the round.
Is Thunder Rosa? Is there on what side are they on? Like are they on opposite?
They're it's like a one-sided thing. So it'll be Rosa and Jade in the next round after this one. Who's Rosa supposed to face?
She's facing
Jamie Hayter.
Yeah,
Jamie Hayter this one. So they'll meet in the semifinals if they get there, right? And not the finals.
Yeah. Okay. Because they have Cheetah and Nyla, Chris and Ruby.
Okay. Yeah, so I was trying to see the bracket because I know that whoever will be at the bottom half, we'll make it down. Yep. So I couldn't remember, but it seems like that's where we're going. But
if Cheetah doesn't beat Nyla, I'm gonna die.
No, she's gonna beat Nyla. It's gonna happen. I don't see Nyla winning this.
Right? I hope not.
Because it is pretty obvious that Jade's gonna win the TBS title. That means Thunder Rosa is next in line for the AEW Women's title, and that's
we knew that. Oh God, yeah, they're setting that up now.
Yeah, that's when she's gonna be Brit at Revolution.
That's far. That is not a while.
It's February. It's just February. Revolution's February, so it's not that far.
I'm just not used to like the
we're so used to this WWE or WWE 3-month max of an arc and program. You know what I mean? They're like with 12 pay-per-views a year. They want to turn the story over for the next one. You're not going to see much carryover and in continuation. So this continuity and long-term storytelling, it's stuff that's from the old wrestling days. I really like. You used to get year-long programs and feuds. So we're getting back there, so maybe we'll get this with that. But I don't know. I like this tournament. I like it so far. We'll see how it shakes out. But I hope that it's not so predictable. Like you said, it looks like we're getting Jade. There's nothing wrong with that.
This match was just meh for me.
Yeah.
Wasn't it not to be like a botched leg lariat or something? I missed it. I guess I looked away from my screen for a second and something got botched.
Something got botched. I didn't see what it was. And that happens. I mean, you get that. I mean, I mean, Red Velvet's still green. I love her. She's improved so much too.
Yeah.
She's probably my most improved, I think, on that roster as far as like where they were a year ago to where they are now in the ring. So
I think she'll get the TBS belt herself one day, even.
Definitely will be the women's TV title champion at some point. But in the Bunny, I love alley matches. I love the Bunny, but at the same time,
she's a great human being overall.
Yeah, she's so nice. She's awesome. But that's.
I could tell they were going to Ruby and Jade. Ruby to Red Velvet and Jade because one, they have history, and two, if you watch Rose to the Top, they're gonna kind of want to capitalize that on well.
Yeah, I was gonna say they did enough backstage or backstory telling to work in with that the reality show that that they can. Yeah, that's probably where they're going with that, and that's fine. You know what I mean? You need to kind of have that feud that. She needs a good rivalry. You know what I mean? Not just like a one-off feud that doesn't make sense. Like this is a rivalry now. They're setting a lot of layered storytelling to have for this rivalry between the two, and both of them are homegrown products. You know what I mean? Like that's Jade is. Did you ever see her? I had never seen her wrestle anywhere other than here. Had you? Anybody else?
She said that. She said she did one tryout at the Performance Center.
Yeah. So she's homegrown talent. So it's not going to be horrible if she ends up getting the belt. I mean, like it's.
Red Velvet said. She literally said, "I made you that bitch," and the crowd popped, because she was across the thing. But I was like, they actually have history. Normally with Jade, it's just a squash match with no history. So
so that's good, and it's that notebook of storytelling. He's got so much stuff in there that they can tie in and call things up, that stuff can last for a long time and it doesn't just get forgotten and wrote off. So yeah, the match was kind of, I agree with you on that, but it served its purpose in the tournament to advance people where they needed to go, and it didn't really, the bunny's not hurt. She's not hurt by losing this match really at all. So yeah.
I don't think she could ever, she's like, I mean, not that she's untouchable, but like, I think she's like pretty stable in her position. Like wins and losses don't really affect her that much to me.
Yeah, and with her character being the bunny, and then she has the other personas, it doesn't, the bunny character doesn't need to rely on that. It doesn't have to matter. So yeah, she can survive. It's not hurtful to her character, I don't think, to lose a tournament match. But the main event is what we got next, and I love this match.
I love John Silver.
He's
want
so
him as
great.
a TNT champion. Oh my God. I would love for him to take it off of Sammy. I mean, that sounds like a hot take, but give him like a month and a half and then let him take it off Sammy. I don't.
Yeah, he's got to have a run at some point, right? I mean,
yeah.
Is there anybody that has, other than him, that has been able to capitalize off the BTE and like character development through that more than him? You know what I mean? Like when he first came in, there was no personality or nothing really to him, but through BTE every week, it's just been like, you get to see so much more of him, and I just love that about John Silver, where we started to where we are. He's
so naturally funny too. Like it doesn't even seem forced. Yeah,
hilarious. And I used to watch him. I used to see him in the Indies. So when I would go, my co-host Dom, that's not here tonight because he's probably sleeping, didn't get to meet him. When I would go up into Philly and we would go watch some like House of Hardcore shows and stuff like that, him and Silver and Reynolds would be on the show Beaver Boys, and we would always run into them after the show. They were always at Tony Luke's getting cheesesteaks, so we'd be standing in line and they'd be there, and then we would all just hang out, eat cheesesteaks, and shoot the shit. And he's just always just so nice and so much fun, dude. I Beaver Boys forever. My man in the chat gets it. Love it. Yeah, they're great people, man. They're so much fun. So yeah, I'm a huge John Silver fan, and it doesn't happen often. But like, when is Adam Cole gonna be the tall guy in a match?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the height advantage tonight. That doesn't happen often that somebody can make Adam Cole look tall, but John Silver did it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I watch BTE, but I don't understand where Budge came from. Like, why that word in particular?
I missed how it came up too, but does it have something to do? I know it. Does it have something to do with Carisa? Do you know? Does it have something to do with the WWE manager stuff, or was that what it was from, or what?
Yeah. So basically, the segments that were on BT with Dark Order and Adam Cole were basically, them talking about the WWE,
the reports
things.
Of the
the revamp of Adam Cole.
The manager and cut your hair and
package you, give you a new name, all that shit.
But they didn't they don't fully mention WWE. They mention the negative stuff.
Yeah,
basically.
Is the Budge just from Boom? I think Budge is from Boom.
Let's see. I don't know. Do you know, Chris? Was that actually was that the pitch nickname or the manager name they were going to give him, or is that just something that they've just worked?
Imagine they were going to name him Budge.
No, that's what they made up. It's not from WWE.
Okay. I was going to say that'd be so much better if it was. But John Silver's just hilarious. So yeah, I would love to see him get that title reign. But this match was fun, man, and I honestly wasn't. I knew going into, I was like, oh, this is Adam Cole. It's going to be an Adam Cole victory. But as the match kept going, and that's what I love about the way they tell stories in the ring with like AEW storytelling, and just in the wrestling aspect, is like, I got to where I was like, well, shit, is Silver going to pull this out? Is this going to be an upset?
The low blow and the Liger bomb, I was like, oh my God, are they going to do it?
It's exactly what I felt like. Oh, they're going to do this? Shit, is this going to be the upset? I didn't expect it, but is this going to happen? And and that just helps you get people invested behind him too. It's that whole like you said, for when he eventually gets that title push or whatever later down the road, you have all these almost moments that people are like, we're building to this.
Somebody explained Budge in the comments.
Oh yeah, what did they say?
It was a new name pitch from Silver to Cole. What are you, Adam Cole's brother or something?
Nice.
Silver said in an interview he doesn't even know where Budge came from. He just said whatever popped in his head, and so they tell him to do a second take and had no idea it would catch on.
And that's what's great. The natural, just the organic, natural comedy that they get to do. And yeah, BTE is such a good vessel for progressing storylines and characters and stuff too. Yeah. But yeah, this is fun. Rampage was fun. I enjoyed it. I think and this was supposed to be the one.
Did you see that snapmare on the apron?
Oh my God, right?
Oh my God. I don't want to take that.
Yeah, everything they did is just so snug and so crisp. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch that match again just because.
And Adam was still selling the concerto. He was still selling all like the head stuff too.
Yeah, it was fun, man. I enjoyed that Rampage, and it being an hour too. It's one of those I like to go back and watch it again. Like I usually watch it twice the night that I like the first night that it happens, and I'll watch it again throughout the weekend somewhere else just to turn it on, just to like, because it's just a fun, quick hour, you know.
Yeah,
I missed that too. You guys didn't get to those old days of having like weekend wrestling, like Saturday night, WCW Saturday night for an hour. It's like 6:05 to 7:05, or then WCW Worldwide or WCW Pro or whatever. This like random hour-long shows just during the week mixed in. This is what it reminds me of. I love it. It was fun.
I wrote down the matches for Dynamite if you want to go over.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah, because they
announced
the go home.
Of them. Yeah. So it's Britt, Rebel, and Hayter versus Anna Jay, Tay Conti, and Rosa and Thunder
Rosa. That's fun. That'll be good.
Yeah. Oh, they just need to keep Rebel on the apron unless she's gonna do some comedy stuff.
I love her character. She's so much fun.
Yeah.
I love that they play up how she can't wrestle, but she can, and then it's just like sometimes it just seems like she intentionally like acts bad, you know, with her wrestling just because that's the character. It's great.
They're gonna have that moment with Britt and Thunder Rosa. They're gonna have like a face off, and Britt's gonna like tag out to Hayter or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's so good. The way they book matches like this too, of you know, that we know that that's what we're eventually going to get, but they're going to keep them away just enough or bring them together just enough to, you know, show us what we're gonna get later, you know. But yeah, that'll be fun. What else we have? We had we already talked about Pat. Yeah, Dax and Pac.
Yep. We have Brian Danielson and Rocky Romero with Orange Cassidy.
Right, and I was surprised with that. Like I wasn't expecting Rocky to get a debut here, but that's going to be so much fun.
I saw somebody on Twitter, I'm not sure, they said, who knows if, you know, since they're bringing in Rocky Romero, who knows, what if they bring in Okada, or they bring in other members of Chaos to AEW, slam that forbidden door open, bring those people from New Japan to, oh my God.
Rocky's the perfect person to have over here to do that too, since he's pretty much controls your storytelling and booking for New Japan, or like a lot of it too, like the American side anyway. I think he does strong, right?
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because the other guys do that, but yeah, I mean, perfect. Have him come in and do. Yeah, that's gonna be a good match too. Yeah, that'll be fun. What else we got?
The match I'm most excited for: Lee Moriarty and Matt Sydal versus Lio Rush and Dante Martin. It's all of my favorite people in one match. I talked about this on the Distraction yesterday. I am so excited.
Yeah, that's gonna burn the house down.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I like Leo. I like what they're doing with Lio Rush. I really like this character with him, and I wasn't a big Lio Rush guy before. I mean, like I didn't, you know. I've actually had some issues personally on DMs and conversations between each other, and from a journalistic standpoint and a performer standpoint, where he had issues with things, and we've had beefs, but we, you know, not bad terms or whatever, but you know, it kind of made me, you know, not be as favorable to what he put out. But I really like what I'm seeing. You know, I mean, not holding anything against our previous stuff. Like I like what he's doing. I can't wait to see him in person and tell him how much I like what he's doing now, and I think that I hope I think it feels like he's enjoying it again, you know.
I was so heartbroken because at AEW Boston he was supposed to do his debut during Rampage, but Mike got hurt, so they just ended up letting it be Dante and Matt, and I was like, I low-key feel like I was gonna cry because like Lio Rush is like He's one of my new favorite wrestlers, I think. Like him, Lee Moriarty, Daniel Garcia are like the new people that I'm like getting attached to right now. I love Daniel Garcia so much. So
It was
much.
great. I got to see him in Chicago do what was it during? Was it what show was it? Was it Freelance? No, it was a GCW show or something. He wrestled. No, it was Ground Control to Filthy Tom, Black Label Pro. It was Daniel Garcia and Tom Lawler in the main event, and that match was incredible, man. And just afterwards,
One
too,
match
the way
I haven't gotten to watch yet is Garcia and Suzuki. I need to watch it. I need to get on that right now.
Yeah. I almost went down a rabbit hole watching matches earlier. My buddy Jake, Lucy's dad, he sent me Bruiser Brody versus Lex Luger from 1987 in a cage match. And I about fell into that rabbit hole today because Lex Luger made a tweet about it. He posted something about like a video of a dog running from a cat. And he was like, this is like me and Bruiser Brody in 87 or whatever. And I was like, what's he talking about? I had to go look it up. And Jake sent me that match. So he sent it to me, of course, during Rampage. I'm trying to like, watch. I'm like, I gotta put this down. I was like, I need to put my phone down, watch Rampage, not watch this classic Bruiser Brody match. But yeah. So we got what else do we have coming up on? There was another match. I feel like
there was one. It's not a match. It's the Page and Omega contract signing that they announced.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So that's gonna be really big too.
Of course, we'll get contract signing shenanigans as always. Like that's always fun.
Yeah.
So.
But not like WWE contract signing shenanigans. Like. Yeah. Actually, like entertaining. Like doesn't happen every single pay-per-view.
Yeah. And Amir here in the comments, Brody refused to sell for Luger. Luger got scared. He literally climbed out of the cage and ran away. Yeah. And he was talking about it on his tweet. So yeah, that's what happened there. Like during the match, Brody just said, "Fuck this, I'm not selling for you anymore." And Luger was like, "Oh shit," and just ran away. Just escaped and just bolted. So he was making a comment about that today too, because he saw this like dog was all being a badass, like yapping at the door, and the guy let the dog out. Dog runs out into the yard. You see it like just hauling ass, running and barking, and all of a sudden just comes flying back into yelp, with the cat chasing it back. So he's just like, that was like me and Brody. So that's what started it. But yeah, I'm at that rabbit hole tonight. So I'll send you that match too. I'll send you guys that. But it's been a long night, ladies. I kept you for 3 hours. I'm gonna let you go. I think
we're on like Kate and Alex like sour.
Yeah, this was a good
like,
debut
right
for
now.
everybody. Yeah, this is a good. We had to let the world get a taste for what to be expected from you now that you guys are here.
Get a taste. Do you want a taste?
Everybody does. This is it. We got 3 hours. Everybody's now they're gonna get spoiled. They're gonna want 3 hours every night from you guys. I'm sorry I did this to you, but. Yeah, let's you guys are going to be on the show Monday, it sounded like, right? So we'll see you guys Monday night, if not sooner, I'm
going to watch Raw in its entirety for the first time in like 3 months.
That's what I did tonight. See, look at what we're doing. Look at what this is doing. Look at this. Who would have thought? Watching a whole WWE TV product against our will for the first time ever. Well, man, I had a blast. Thanks you guys for coming on. Let's push yourselves. Tell everybody how to find you. How to follow you on the social media. Push all your stuff before we get out of here tonight. What we got?
Carisa, you want to go?
You can go.
Somebody.
Okay, I'll go. So you can follow me on Twitter at Jaychele Nicole, or you can follow me on Instagram at Jaychele with an _ after it. I'm doing a giveaway, like I said at the beginning. For a $25 gift card. I just hit 1,000 followers today. So I'm very, very grateful for all of that. Very excited. And yeah, I have lots of lukewarm takes on my Twitter if you're interested. So
awesome. Yeah, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff with her. Carisa, you're next, girl.
You guys can follow me on my Twitter at CarisaL517. You guys can follow me on my Instagram at Carisa._. I don't really post as much on my Instagram. It really depends on what I choose to post. But I'm mostly, putting out my takes on Twitter, talking about all things wrestling, K-pop once in a while whenever I can, because I am a K-pop fan. I do a lot of that stuff. And there's other socials, but I'm not. They aren't starting yet. They might start in the future, so I'm gonna wait until that happens. So just for now,
Good.
follow my Instagram and my Twitter. And my Instagram, I'm close to 1,800 followers. If you can, please get me there. I'm super close to that goal.
Wow, let's do it. Let's get her. Let's everybody follow her. Subscribe to everybody's stuff here. That's what we do here. We push all of our guys. We want all of our audience to follow us all. So yeah, we'll see you guys back next week. If you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel, if you haven't yet, it's going across the bottom. Go to YouTube, search for bodyslam.net pro wrestling. You'll find us. We got tons of good stuff. Podcasts go up almost daily now. We got my series of me taking chops from pro wrestlers, which if you're not watching that, you guys are missing out on some painfully entertaining stuff, I think. We've got Wrestling Rules with Lucy, our youngest correspondent, 5, almost 6. She'll correct you if you ask her. Correspondent Lucy. She's gonna take all our jobs. She's the best. She's the smartest and cutest kid in the world. Go check her stuff out. This week's episode, she was showing off her favorite top rope wrestling moves, where she climbed a ladder and was diving off into a pile of leaves. Maki Ito shared. Did you guys see that? Because she did Maki Ito's stop fall, so Maki Ito shared it and clipped it and said that she found the cutest. I don't know what word she used. Some Japanese. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what that means, but that's awesome. But yeah, she was so happy. You don't even understand how excited Lucy is about this too. Because one of the episodes, I think it was the second one, she talked about being worldwide or around the world, and she was only 5. Because of that, and the reason she said that was because we told her that Shazza McKenzie watched her episode and she loves Shazza. So she's like, I'm worldwide now. Shazza's seen it. So now that Maki Ito's seen it, she's gonna be hard to deal with. She's gonna be hard to deal with. She's already gonna be making demands. So yeah, but yeah, she's gonna be chopping me in 2 weeks. So we'll have some good stuff coming for you guys. So yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll miss all our good, so you don't miss any of our good stuff here. And we're gonna have a lot more coming from these ladies too. We'll announce that soon. I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. Thank you so much for just being here with me, guys. I'm so happy to have you on board. There's going to be a lot more of this. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good. Well, guys, thank you again. Everybody follow us on all the stuff, bodyslam.net, at bodyslamnet on Twitter. We're going to get out of here. 3 hours hard. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you soon, man.
You.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.